some clouds, but mostly sun downtown. It's 69 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Hey, it's Jeff at Sachs Financial. I got a free event coming up to maximize your Social Security, September 22nd and 23rd. Come meet me in person and find out how to maximize your Social Security. Sign up at retiresafestl.com/events.
The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX, brought to you by St. Louis Union Station. Twists, turns, and tons of fun await the new rides at St. Louis Union Station.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Good morning, dudes and ladies. It's the Chris and Amy Show. Till 12 o'clock today, then the Gas House Gang, talking some sports, Tom Ackerman and me. But right now, it's Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji. Join the show, 314-436-7900 to call or text. Voice messages, you can leave those, record them on the Odyssey app. Really, really easy to do. It's like one button. Send those messages our way. You can, if you want, watch us on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX. We're on YouTube and Facebook as well. Find KMOX News.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, Cracker Barrel is going back. They're going back. Going back to the way it used to be. They will not remodel their restaurants after the whole, what's that word called? Kerfuffle? After all that, they are not going to remodel.
Interesting. Well, a new report shows that reading and science scores for high school seniors have hit record lows. That is not good.
Cardinals lost to the Mariners last night. The finale of the series will happen tonight. Off day tomorrow. So Cardinal season, by the way, is dwindling. It is wrapping up here. We are on September 10th. And this season ends on the 28th, so you got a couple of weeks to enjoy Cardinals baseball from here. So, Amy Marks Kors, so we heard about the Spanish Lake gas station. It was a Quick Trip where the winning Powerball ticket was sold.
Love Quick Trip.
Well, there were 2 big jackpot winning Powerball tickets that were sold in the country. One of them happened to be in Spanish Lake.
Yeah, a Quick Trip in Spanish Lake. And Chris Sternfels is the store manager, and he was asked by a customer if he sold the winning ticket, and he said he didn't know, but he said, and this is the manager at that Quick Trip said, I like to think that it is someone who comes in every day and their life has just completely changed. Now, Ranj had said the other day that, of course, it's great if your store sells the winning lottery ticket because you get some kind of cut of the cash. How much do you think this Quick Trip got for selling the $1.7 billion lottery ticket?
So there were 2 of those tickets.
That's
they
right.
were, I suppose, about split in half, right?
I think that's how it works.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's got to be 5 figures.
So they got $50,000.
That's fine.
And I was looking at, how it is determined how much a store will get for selling the winning lottery ticket. Well, here's the thing. It depends by state, right? It's state laws. And it also varies by the lottery. So sometimes a store will get 1%. But a California store owner who sold the winning Powerball ticket back in November of 2022, remember when that was a huge Powerball ticket? I think that was maybe one of the first times it hit over $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That store got a check for $1 million.
Wow.
$1 million
Wow.
That store got. Some states, like the Pennsylvania lottery, they max out where you get a percentage of the winnings, but you max out at $100,000. Other states will max out at $500,000. One store in Illinois received that much, $500,000, which is the maximum bonus in the state. And that store gave 10% of that to store employees. And I like this note here. The manager was able to purchase a bassoon for her husband,
Oh,
a dream they had long
that's nice.
been waiting to realize.
If you are the owner of the store, don't you kind of have to give a little something to each of your employees? I don't know. Give them a little, hey, this is a thank you for working here, for being part of my team. Here's a little something. It doesn't have to be like $1,000 or anything, but
Yeah.
don't you think you give them a little something? A
Well,
little bonus.
this was a big bonus in the sense of the store manager, because it says a bassoon can cost between $5,000 to $20,000.
That is way more than a bassoon would cost, I thought. So,
I know. Like, what if I said, Ranj, I know you need a new car. You're in the market.
yeah. Yeah. If somebody want to give me a car,
Yeah.
go ahead. 314-436-7900. I do
or-
not feel like buying a car.
A very nice bassoon.
Of-
Same price.
Well, I don't need the bassoon unless you want to give me the bassoon and I can sell that bassoon to help purchase a new vehicle. I don't want to go through the car buying
That
process.
seems like
right
a lot
now.
of rigmarole, though.
Dude. Speaking of rigmarole, there was a whole rigmarole about this. I think it's the word counts about Cracker Barrel. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, they decided they were going to remodel all of their stores around the country.
Yep.
They decided that they were going to change the logo. Well, some of the crazies got really upset about that. They got really upset that this place was trying to update the 660 something stores around the country, and it was wokeness gone amok,
Yeah.
allegedly. And so Cracker Barrel, Amy, has reversed course. They have issued a statement saying that you've shared your voices in recent weeks, not just on our logo, but on our restaurants as well. As we continue to listen, we're suspending our remodels. If your restaurant hasn't been remodeled, you don't need to worry. It won't be. So there you go. The nut jobs won. They have defeated Cracker Barrel. Now Cracker Barrel cannot change anything and watch the money roll in.
I will say this, though. Let's say we weren't in our current political environment. Let's say
None of this would have
we-
happened then.
Well, no, I would say this. Let's say woke, the whole idea of woke doesn't exist. There would have been some kind of kerfuffle, because here's what I know. People don't like change. They don't like change. When you do, sometimes change works for companies, for brands, and sometimes it doesn't. But Cracker Barrel is not the first company to launch a rebrand and then pull back because it didn't work. I think it got super political, blown out of proportion.
It was only political, Amy.
Yeah, but I guess I would bet money that there would still be people really upset. Here's the thing, like, we've made changes on KMOX, right? And people don't like change. Here's what I know. When Famous Bar, was purchased by Macy's, that was real. People didn't like that change. That wasn't political. That was just a bummer.
But the Macy's was fine. So,
I just think in the moment, people don't like change.
Yeah, they don't, but it doesn't turn into this because the Macy's sale did not turn into this gigantic uproar where people were going to social media and trying to, boycott and telling people don't go to Macy's,
Yeah.
don't go to, it's not Famous Bar anymore. People weren't doing stuff like that. And nobody that I can recall cried about McDonald's remodeling every one of their stores. How many red
I
awnings
did.
do you see
Matt
now?
and I did.
No, we do it now. And I think we do it.
Play place. Play place.
Oh, bring back the dirty, grimy, germ-filled
So
play place.
the play place thing, how none of those stores have one anymore, that is part of it's associated with the Cracker Barrel
Yeah.
thing, I believe. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we were mentioning the story, that one of the reasons these places like Wendy's, like
Mhm.
McDonald's, all remodel their stores and turn them into those boxy, uninspired designs, like universal designs, is because in a lot of those cases, they own the land. The company owns the land where the stores are. And if they ever move the McDonald's or move the Wendy's or the Cracker Barrel off that spot and they sell it to somebody else, the next tenant can come in
Yeah.
and very easily change up the store. And it doesn't look like an old McDonald's. It doesn't look like an
Yeah.
old Cracker Barrel. This is all financial. It wasn't about woke. They were doing, you may not like the design. That's cool. I don't care if you like it or not. But this wasn't about wokeness. It's just
Here's
such
what
a
I
silly
think.
thing that never would have happened 10 years ago.
I think if the current environment is a 10. Let's say the current environment, 10 out of 10, that was the level of the outcry. And the company backtracked. I think if you do this 20 years ago, you get 10% of the outcry where people are pretty bummed,
But they're still going.
and the company doesn't backtrack.
Right.
Because they're not afraid of political fallout.
Right. Well, there probably wouldn't. That's the thing.
Yeah,
They just wouldn't.
It wouldn't be political.
Yeah.
I will say I am the one person who doesn't view it as political. I view it as magical. And Cracker Barrel lost the magic. Like I said, you need to go in. You want dusty, chintzy curtains that might have a little bit of mildew on them. You want you want a lot of woodworking. You want some t-shirts that say rose all day, and maybe some dolls in patchwork dresses, and rock candy that slices open your tongue with shards of sugar. That's the Cracker Barrel I want. You want to get the flu from the little games with the pegs, the wooden games that are on the tables. You want to get the flu from that.
Well, apparently you're the only one, because Cracker Barrel stock has dropped like 125 points since April of 2021. So people weren't going, and they said
flu.
They said, look, we gotta do something different here, because clearly this isn't working. It had been on a steady decline for 5 years, and they tried something, and the crybabies cried, and they said, "Sorry, don't get mad at us. We're going to go back to the old way."
It's really fun to turn off cable news, maybe unplug the old television, and delete your Twitter account and delete your Facebook account, and then go touch grass and talk to your neighbors, and you'll realize not everything is political and life is good.
See, it's not that difficult, is it? At least you wouldn't think it would be.
Politics is fatiguing. I'm fatigued. Look at me. I used to be happy. I used to be optimistic, bright-eyed, they would even say.
Yeah.
Now I'm a shell
That's what happens when you never leave your bubble.
of what I used to be. The politics, the
You're like
news, the murders.
Is it the cicadas that end up like hollowed out,
That's what I
stuck to
am.
the tree?
I'm a cicada stuck to Studio B.
Yeah.
Because this political business is eating the life out of me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's why I will still go to Cracker Barrel completely ignorant of any political implications. I will say I haven't been to Cracker Barrel in 30 years, though. So probably.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
You're part of the problem, people.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I view Cracker Barrel like parades. I love knowing that they're happening.
Yeah.
I love knowing that they exist, but I don't want to go to a parade. It's so boring.
I have to tell you, I don't think about a Cracker Barrel like ever until 3 weeks ago. Like not that I have a problem with Cracker Barrel. I just don't. It doesn't. Cracker Barrel doesn't occur to me.
As we go to break, I will say you need to give a raise or promote the guy that created the Cracker Barrel billboard. The one that I'm thinking of is on 44, and it shows a picture of bacon and eggs on a plate, gorgeous bacon and eggs on a plate, and it says "Not pictured." The world's best pancakes. Brilliant marketing ploy, because now I'm picturing the pancakes. Now I'm engaging my brain. It went from a passive observation of a Cracker Barrel billboard to engaging my brain into envisioning the pancakes. Now I can smell them, and now I want pancakes. I think you need to promote that guy.
See, that's interesting, because speaking of billboards, I don't think I've noticed one in the last 8 years.
Yeah, but you don't notice a lot.
I don't look at billboards.
We could change out the whole newsroom. You probably wouldn't notice.
I would absolutely notice that.
I don't think so.
Because I think we need a remodel here. Let's
What if
have
we
Cracker Barrel do it.
Let's get the old Cracker Barrel decor with the curtains.
At 9:30, we're going to have a fun conversation, or an interesting one, with the former mayor of Arlington, Texas, who helped Arlington rebound and become more of an economic driver. It is an entertainment destination for a lot of people. What can St. Louis learn from them? We'll talk to Jeff Williams after 9:30. But the Chris and Amy show continues on KMOX.
I always get asked, when's the best time of the year to purchase an air conditioning and heating system for your home? My response is always the same. If you call me and have a free consultation on your needs and based on your budget, it's always a good time. There's never a bad time. You don't fear my pricing. I try to buy as much as I can at the start of the season, and anything we have left over, it's still a discounted price to you. So if you're looking or you're waiting before winter, because we all put it off, man, we all put it off. None of us like to spend money. But if you know you're going to be doing something before winter, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Hello, it's Lena Dunham. I host a podcast called The C Word with my dearest friend and historian of bad behavior, Alyssa Bennett.
What is up?
It's a chat show about women whose society is called crazy.
We're going to be rediscovering the stories of women society dismissed by calling them mad, sad, or just plain bad.
Listen to and follow The C Word with Lena Dunham and Alyssa Bennett. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Well, as I'm sure you guys have all seen, that the city of St. Louis is working to stop/shut down its notorious open air drug market. And I drive by it every day. We see it out this window where there will be people, whether it's homeless people or people who are addicted to drugs, just openly dealing and taking drugs, doing drugs. 14th and Pine most recently, that's the one that was shut down. That's the one when I talked about being used to driving downtown and how I'm used to driving by people sprawled out on the sidewalk or fence bent, where you're standing up, but you're bent over halfway. And, if you were to see someone sprawled out on the sidewalk in Chesterfield or in Fenton, you'd probably call the cops, but you don't hear because there are so many of them. It's every day. And we know that the Glover Show, they'll walk to lunch every day. So they're walking around different streets downtown. They saw someone who they weren't sure if they were dead. They called 911. And I think the people that were openly dealing and doing drugs were pretty mad at the Glover Show because they don't want the cops there. They don't want to get help in that way. They want to keep, living that lifestyle. And I just started thinking about, we see the homeless situation in LA, for instance, tens of thousands of people who are homeless, open air drug markets. We even know when the city's offering needles, so at least people have clean needles. I mean, it's out of control. But the city of St. Louis, relatively speaking, compared to LA, compared to New York, it's not that big of a homeless population. And I think a lot of times we see, this is not the right number, but let's say even with the drug market there, let's say you see the same 30 people. I feel like with a concentrated effort, we could channel some money, city money, private money, and say, let's do a 1-to-1 ratio of social worker to homeless drug addict and see if we can really make a difference. But we're not doing that. And also, I don't know that would work because I brought this up to several reporters in the newsroom who have followed this story, talked to the mayor, talked to the chief of police, and said, you can't force someone to take help. And there's the option of arresting someone where if they are dealing drugs, even if they're doing illegal drugs, you could arrest them, which might cause a period of forced sobriety. But Ron, I think my big thing is, if we can't solve it, who can? Because it feels like a solvable problem numbers-wise in our city, doesn't it? When you see the groups of people, it's not tens of thousands of people.
Right. So if you can't, it does, but if you can't force people into treatment, I really don't know what you do because the laws don't allow for it. You can arrest them, but you arrest them for however long you have them in jail, 6 months, a year, whatever it is. And even with that, there's a pretty high rate of people who are on opioids getting back on it at some point. And I don't know that the drug treatment programs they have in jail or in prison are all that good. So, but
varies.
I'm sure it varies. So what I would say is all the talk that, and we hear this a lot after there's like a mass shooting, for example, where you hear people say it's not about the guns. It's about mental illness. It's about mental health. And that's great. And I agree that is part of it. But then we don't ever do anything about the mental health. We just say it to like get the attention off the other thing. But we should really actually get serious about putting money into that and putting money into facilities, putting money into prison facilities that have drug treatment programs or jails that have it or cities that have it, because it's not going to fix the problem just to put somebody in jail, because when they get out, they're probably going to go right back to that lifestyle. That's what drug addiction is.
Yeah.
So unless you're getting good, serious treatment, there is no real cure for it.
And I would say, ideally, hopefully, if you're in prison for 6 months, a year, does that give you some breathing room? Does it give you a fighting chance to get off of those hard drugs? But at the very least, and this is something we've reached out to Mitch McCoy, spokesperson for the St. Louis Police Department. We do know that you can arrest the dealers, right? At least deal with the dealers. And in these parks, this open air drug market at 14th and Pine or at the parks all around our studio, as Alderman Rasheen Aldridge said, I mean, he lives right here. And he said, you can see the drug dealers. They pull up, they're dealing for 10 minutes and they drive away. Get those guys at least the dealers. And he said that's what he wants the police to do. He said that is going to help a little bit, at least, to get the dealers. And the dealers aren't even trying to hide it. So again, our question would be, as we talk to someone from the police department, are we arresting the drug dealers? If we are not, why aren't we? Because the Glover Show's seen it. The alderman has seen it. Anybody who walks around downtown is going to see it. And at the very least, the first thing you got to do is go after the dealers and throw them in jail.
Also, this is a much greater, bigger picture problem in that we've got a lot of poverty in parts of the city. There's a lot of wealth in the St. Louis area, but in St. Louis City, there's quite a bit of poverty. And poverty does lend itself to what we're talking about here: drug problems, mental health problems. Adolescents that have that grew up in poorer environments are more likely to have mental health issues, which a lot of times does lead to drug use. And we're not talking just weed. We're talking like serious opioids,
Fentanyl,
heroin, fentanyl, that sort of stuff. That's what it leads to. So we also have to get to the root problem, but there is probably a temporary Band-Aid that we can put on the issue. And hopefully we can figure something out here. This is, by the way, a nationwide problem. This is not just here.
But that's what I'm saying. Ours feels manageable. We complain about not having a lot of people in St. Louis. We don't have 10,000 homeless people. You would think that somehow with I'm using this relatively speaking, manageable number, that we would be able to make a bigger dent.
We're going to talk to Jeff Williams, the former mayor of Arlington, Texas, and the turnaround that city has had over the years, what we can learn from it. Coming up next.
Now, you've heard us talk about Krentz Financial. You've probably heard that name throughout Total Information AM and on KMOX. Really excited to be partnering with Krentz Financial. Todd Krentz, Justin Brown, and Kyle Busch. They may be new to us here at KMOX in the sense that you're hearing them partnering with us, but they've been in the St. Louis area helping families and businesses for over 6 decades.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Todd coming up at 10 o'clock today about financial challenges that people are facing today. So looking forward to that conversation. All really good guys. And you know, your life can change and you're going to go through different things, whether it's a divorce or loss of a loved one. Maybe you've got an inheritance coming your way. It's great to have a place like Krentz Financial to help you navigate all of that.
Yeah. Or maybe you're listening and you're thinking, well, I have a financial advisor. They're okay. Maybe it feels stagnant. Maybe your financial advisor feels misaligned with your own personal goals. I really recommend you talk to Krentz Financial. Be proactive. Their mission is your goals.
Thinking about your retirement too? Well, how are you going to replace that paycheck that you've been getting every couple of weeks? Well, Krentz Financial, they are proactive. They will help make sure you can enjoy the retirement that you've worked a lifetime for. Definitely give our guys at Krentz Financial a call.
KFGadvisors.com. That's KFGadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Krentz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Marcia talks about her experience with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Hi, my name's Marcia, and I had a great experience with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. My sister, who lives in Logan, had them do her kitchen, and after I saw the quality, I realized it was exactly what I wanted. I guess one of the things I really liked is that when I came back, I just couldn't believe how it totally changed, and everything was all cleaned up, and it looked so great. All my neighbors want to come over and see it. I had a lot of unique features that I wanted as far as the fixtures go, and Dave was able to find those things, and that made all the difference. It was a great experience, and I'm glad I did it, and I would recommend it to anyone.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
It is 72 degrees, but we are creeping up into that warm streak. Partly sunny and hot today, a high of 89. Tonight, clear, low of 59.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has brought cheers to their fans for decades with the best styles, cutting-edge tech, and good old family values. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit CantorInjuryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
New treatments in the fight against Alzheimer's. Now is the time for action. Join the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's Saturday, October 25th at Chesterfield Amphitheater. Help us see a world without Alzheimer's. Register today, alz.org/walk.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live. It's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News & World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour with lunch or to RSVP for our senior prom on September 24th with live entertainment by the Backstreet Cruisers. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you. And we were talking about the city of St. Louis and what we can fix and what we can't fix. And obviously our city has its own share of problems. Well, Jeff Williams is a civil engineer and he is the former mayor of Arlington. He helped the city of Arlington rebound from violence, racial tension, and even the COVID pandemic. And he's outlined exactly how he did that, how he approached restoring Arlington in his new book, The Unity Blueprint. And joining us now is Jeff Williams, here to help us learn what we can learn, the city of St. Louis, from the city of Arlington. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Amy. Great to be here.
Well, I do have to say the first thing I did look up is to see if you were the mayor of Arlington when David Freese had his infamous Game 6 for the St. Louis Cardinals.
What she's trying to say is she wanted to taunt you.
No, I didn't want to taunt. I just was wondering.
Well, she can taunt me. I a civil engineer that actually designed the ballpark where David Freese had that home run and Louis Pujols could not miss. He was incredible that series.
Well, we are sorry, but we don't want you to hold that against us. It turned into a really great memory for the city, though. So thank you very much for that.
You know, it's interesting.
Like
people in Arlington love St. Louis, actually, even though that was one of our worst moments.
Interesting. Why?
Why?
Because there are so many Cardinal fans here, and they're great people. And many come down here from St. Louis to find jobs and so forth. We have a lot of Missouri people that relocate to Dallas-Fort Worth because of finding work.
See, that's really interesting because we here in St. Louis, I think, have the opposite problem where we don't have a whole lot of folks from the outside, from other markets who come here to find work. Or, just they say, oh, I want to live in St. Louis for a while, as a young person, whatever it is. So how did Arlington get to be that way, and what can we learn from it?
Well, one of the most important things is to unite your citizens. And we are very diverse here in Arlington. In fact, we're the fourth most diverse city in America. So we have to work hard to get along, but yet working together on common goals makes all the difference. And in fact, here in our community, when I came into office in 2015, we were in danger of losing our Major League Baseball team, the Texas Rangers, because many of the cities in the Metroplex all wanted to have the Rangers come to their city. So I needed an army of people to help me to keep the Rangers. And so we made a plan. We took that plan to the people, revised it, used their ideas, and then suddenly it was not my plan, it was our plan. And we were able to keep the Rangers. We recruited Texas Live here, which you have a version of that too at the Cardinals. And then we recruited Lowe's Hotels. And then recently we just opened the National Medal of Honor Museum here in our community, and very excited about what Unity has done for our community.
Well, when you look at Arlington now, it's a great sports and entertainment destination, as you mentioned. You're drawing more than 15 million visitors a year. But what you had to deal with was the COVID economic recovery and then also racial tensions and violence. Can you paint a picture? How bad was Arlington? How much better has it gotten? And of course, this is, personal with the violence with the city of St. Louis, because we're always, ranked the number one city for violence, for murder, for homicide. And that's a really damning title or recognition to have for a city. So where was Arlington in regards to that?
Well, when I first came into office, we had a police shooting in which a young African-American male was shot and killed. And we had to let go of the officer. But an interesting thing happened is that our faith-based community came together and suggested that we hold a town hall meeting at one of the churches, and it happened to be the church of that the young African-American male went to. And then he invited the pastor of the white policeman to come over too. And they actually conducted that meeting. They had myself and the chief of police there, and we stayed for an hour and a half answering questions. And it was amazing how the community came together because they had knowledge of what happened. And then from that meeting, we worked together and were able to move forward. But one of the things that I think helps people more than anything is to find a common purpose and work together to make that happen. It is amazing how suddenly you realize who that person is that you're working next to. And as you're working together, suddenly barriers are broken down. In fact, I'd challenge you to think about your best friends. Who are they? Where did you meet them? I bet you met them working on a school project or a charity event, or perhaps something in your church. It is amazing how friendships are forged very deeply when you're working together to do good and to make a difference. And I think it truly is part of the main solution for people understanding each other and being willing to be friends with somebody that doesn't look like you, or may not even have the same native language, or have a very different economic situation. And so I think that is the role of a leader. I love bridges. Of course, I would, because we're engineers, but I love bridge metaphors. And I really believe that leaders need to be the bridge between people and purpose, and making those connections happen. Because when you're working together, magical things happen. And of course, in business, we can't stand to have conflict resolution taking up all the time. We need to be productive. We want our employees to have a great morale. So we as leaders have to be trustworthy, and we have to value people.
So it sounds great, and I agree with you. And the title of your book is The Unity Blueprint. And maybe my read on this city is maybe it's not accurate, but I get the feeling that there isn't a ton of that. There's a lot of, they need to fix their problems, or them, it's always like an other. It feels like an other here sometimes, that we're not all really together. We have all these different municipalities competing against one another. It's not a great environment for that. Was there a similar challenge in Arlington when you were there as the mayor 10 years ago?
Yes, I would definitely point to the pandemic. Literally everybody's business was threatened. We were in uncharted waters, and people were really splintered. And of course, loneliness was setting in too. Well, of course, the rise of the Zoom came, and literally we created different groups of people to work on different things that we had here in our community. We had a business group that were made up of 35 diverse businesses that all shared ideas and then communicated that to the business community as a whole. And I'll never forget an early breakthrough in which we had one of our favorite restaurants that was going to have to close for St. Patrick's Day. And here they came up with a great idea to create takeout food, which they had never done before. And literally our citizens spread the word. And the very first day they had 85 cars lined up to pick up food. Well, that spread to lots of our restaurants that had never done takeout and had ideas. And yet that was unifying there because of what they had done to help each other. And then, of course, the other part was for our groups to come together to help understand what we needed to do. And we turned to our local authorities, our local medical professionals to give us the advice that we had to what to do, because they trusted them. And of course, building trust is so important anywhere. There's a lot of steps that need to be taken to build trust, but New York University came and studied our city during the pandemic because here we were known as a sports capital, and they wanted to see how we came out. And they believe that we came out of the pandemic, one of the first cities in America to do that, both economically and physically. And I do believe it was because our people came together. But it all started with having a common goal, something that people wanted to have happen. And then consequently, you find those people are passionate about it, and then they bring others, and it grows. And that is so important. And when people see success, they want to be a part of it, and they join.
Ranj brought up the different municipalities and the areas and how we're pretty divided here into all sorts of different areas in the St. Louis bi-state area. The thing is with St. Louis, there is downtown St. Louis, the city of St. Louis with its mayor. And then you have St. Louis County, which is the sprawling suburbs, with its own county executive. And it's almost like St. Louis is kind of divided in half between there's the St. Louis city and its issues and St. Louis County, and they're kind of pitted against each other. And the county wants the city to fix itself first before it buys in. In Arlington, was there a similar divide between the downtown city area and the suburbs? Do you have two different leaders, or were you, as mayor of Arlington, also the mayor of the sprawling suburbs?
Well, I was the mayor for all of Arlington, but I would equate our issues that we have more to our metropolitan area, because we definitely have, over 100 cities that make up the Metroplex. And our Council of Mayors has been really key to bringing us together. And in fact, I'll just give you an example. I actually led the big city mayors of Texas. Those were the 15 largest cities here in Texas. And during the pandemic, we had to come together. There was normally we would meet 2 or 3 times a year, but we were meeting weekly on Zoom to share ideas and to make things happen. And then it is amazing too when the St. Louis is going to have to be the key. It's always has to be one of the bigger cities to make that to happen. We have in fact, the 9th largest growing county in not just in Texas, in America. That's the 9th largest growing. It's called Parker County. It's immediately to the west of the Metroplex. And they were having fighting going on. It was just a constant deal. And they were needing transportation improvements. And transportation is regional. Everybody's got to work together because every road leads to another road. Can't have a dead end road. And so the city of Weatherford, which was the county seat, the largest city there, along with the head of the county, came together and they went to each one of the mayors. And they found common ground. They found the common vision that they needed to have happen. And suddenly now they have actually been able to gain hundreds of millions of dollars in transportation improvements because instead of 30 voices, they had one. And I think that's what is probably key to any metropolitan area, is for you to come together to find what are the common goals and how do we reach so that everybody wins. I equate it to that same restaurant that I told you that was
St.
really
Patrick's
upset
Day,
here that they were going to have to close.
Did we lose Jeff?
Oh, there you go.
There you are.
Yeah. Hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Well, it's amazing how all success actually can bring in more business, and success can help more cities if you work together.
Jeff Williams, the former mayor of Arlington, Texas. His new book is called The Unity Blueprint. And we hope that St. Louis can learn a thing or two from you. But we also are pretty certain that the Arlington, Texas, the turnaround began when you all stole the Bowling Hall of Fame from us in 2008. So that's
goodness.
Yeah, that's
Chris,
what
I'd
happened.
forgotten that.
You forgot it?
How could you forget?
I was just talking about it last week because my cousins, huge bowlers, they said, "Oh, stupid Arlington stole the Bowling Hall of Fame, and now we can't go there."
What the hell, man?
Okay, well let's make a deal here.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't hold a grudge that y'all took the World Series from us. We had it won twice, and so y'all don't keep the grudge against us for actually stealing the Bowling Hall of Fame, which is, by the way, my neighbor. It's right across the street. But, that is one of those things that's so important, y'all. And getting down to the serious topic, forgiveness has to be a core value. We can't write people off. We need everyone. And so that's another thing that we've got to start doing. And there's so much dissension, so much division that is out there. And Forbes, that published the book, said that people are hungry for unity, but yet we're not doing much to make it. So let's start right now. You forgive
All right, I'll tell you
me, I'll forgive y'all.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You keep the Hall of Fame, we'll keep the trophy. Thank you.
No kidding. That's what it is.
That is Jeff Williams,
you.
former mayor of Arlington, Texas. The book, you should get it. It is called The Unity Blueprint. I think it was very, very interesting stuff. It's Chris and Amy. When we come back, did you see this on KMOX?
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here for the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra, is back. Next stop, Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill in Arnold, Thursday, September 18th. A limited number of fans can get an autographed picture from City SC player Timo Bunkardel. Win great prizes, enjoy great food, and a cold drink. Hot Shots in Arnold is the place to be Thursday, September 18th from 6 till 8 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house, on the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Gentlemen, I know you both are super into your signs. You're astrology nerds. They're always talking about their signs and the moon and everything. Guess what? Your zodiac sign is wrong.
What?
Assuming you believe in it. But anyway, created by the Babylonians 2,500 years ago, the 12 zodiac signs, I learned them by going to Hunan Inn, which had paper placemats, and they had like the zodiac signs and the different Chinese New Year stuff. Anyway, the 12 signs.
Year of the chicken. Is this the year of the chicken?
Oh my gosh, I know, because you always wanted it to be a funny year, like a year of the pig or something. 12 signs were originally based on the constellations behind the sun at the time. But the thing is, what they saw then is not what we'd necessarily see now. Today, September 10th, you think you're a Virgo, you're actually a Leo. Because the Earth wobbles, it shifts our view of the stars 1 degree every 72 years. Constellations aren't the same size, and there's a 13th constellation that the Babylonians forgot about. And anyway, so if you think you're a Virgo, today you're actually a Leo.
Oh, well, dang it. I'm a Pisces. What is it?
Is that the Scorpion?
No, it's the fish.
It is?
Yeah.
What's the Scorpion?
Scorpio.
Oh.
Damn, are you kidding me? Wow.
Well, why aren't you Fisho?
This year, by the way, in case you were wondering, this year is the year of the wood snake.
Oh.
The Chinese year is the
That
year.
sounds like a good snake. Eats the mice, it sounds like.
Last year was the year of the dragon.
Okay.
Next year will be the year of the horse.
Oh, horses are in right now. They're
Love
so
horses.
in right now.
Love horses. When we come back, we have a new partner here at KMOX. It is Krentz Financial. And Todd Krentz is the president of that group. And we're going to talk some finances with him and what he and the advice he can give to you. That's coming up next on 104.1 FM KMOX.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Upgrade your family vacation with an unforgettable escape to the Palm Beaches. From outdoor adventures and laid-back beaches to thrilling family attractions and animal encounters, the Palm Beaches have something for everyone. Discover premier resorts with creative kids clubs that will keep the little ones entertained while you enjoy world-class golf and spas. We are the original, the one, the only, the Palm Beaches. Plan your trip at thepalmbeaches.com.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth, since 1868. Member FDIC.
This is Tom Becker with Climate Masters. We don't just sell air conditioners, we sell comfort. We sell solutions. We sell a job well done, and we fix bad jobs. Climate Masters, because you need someone you can trust. Someone who earns your respect and 5-star reviews. Climate Masters, selling high-quality Carrier air conditioners. Turn to the experts. Climate Masters, quality work for over 40 years. Just type in Climate Masters and give us a call.
It is 10:01 and we've got sunshine downtown at 75 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. The Trump administration says Operation Midway Blitz is underway in Chicago with hundreds of ICE agents and vehicles on standby. CBS's reporter Darius Johnson has more.
On the ground here in Chicago, we are not seeing those large-scale sweeps that many people were warned to expect since the operation was announced on Monday. Governor J.B. Pritzker says about 200 ICE agents and 100 vehicles are positioned in and around Chicago. Some have been spotted outside courthouses where immigrants showed up voluntarily for hearings.
Qatari security forces have surrounded the site of an Israeli attack on Hamas's political leaders who had gathered at the capital Doha to consider a U.S. proposal for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Nami Bar Yaakov is an international negotiator and fellow at the Geneva Center for Security Studies. She says the prospects for Israel and Hamas to reach a ceasefire are extremely dire.
The time has come for U.S. President Donald Trump to draw a line under this and say to Prime Minister Netanyahu, you crossed a red line, you attacked a U.S. ally, and now we need to end the war.
COVID-19 is no longer one of the top 10 causes of death in the United States.
Suicide took the place of the coronavirus on the 2024 list, compiled by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death in America. Cancer is at number 2. And the CDC says the number of deaths from both is higher than in 2023. There is some good news in the report. The overall death rate for all races and ethnicity groups dropped to its lowest level since 2020. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
The top 10 causes of death are heart disease, cancer, drug overdoses and unintentional injury, stroke, chronic lower respiratory diseases, Alzheimer's, diabetes, kidney disease, chronic liver disease and cirrhosis, and suicide. From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, South Korean media reports a charter plane has left for the U.S. to bring back Korean workers detained in an immigration raid in Georgia. A total of 475 workers, more than 300 of them South Koreans, were rounded up September 4th at Hyundai's sprawling battery plant under construction. A lawyer for some of those workers says many of those rounded up are engineers and equipment installers brought in for the highly specialized work of getting the battery plant online, and were going to be in the U.S. for several weeks. One South Korean lawmaker at a legislative hearing questioned how Korean companies could continue investing in the U.S. if they detained its citizens in this manner. The weather is sponsored by FanDuel Sports Network.
This afternoon will be partly sunny and much warmer than recent days, high 89, then clear and mild tonight, though 65. Sunshine and rather hot tomorrow, high 91. For Friday, mostly sunny and hot, but not too humid, high 94. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, it is 75 degrees. Cardinals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your TV and streaming home of the Cardinals. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network and stream the Cardinals or watch through your TV provider. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX, brought to you by St. Louis Union Station. Step into the next chapter of family fun at St. Louis Union Station, where new rides bring fresh excitement to a timeless destination.
Chris and Amy Show on KMOX, hour 2 of 3, with you until 12 o'clock. Then the Gas House Gang happens. Tom Ackerman and me will talk some Cardinals baseball and more today, but it is time to go to the guest line this morning, and we welcome in a new partner to KMOX and to the Chris and Amy Show, the president of Krentz Financial Group. It is Todd Krentz who joins us. We kind of like to, every week, we like to, as often as we can, we like to help you with your finances, because we know it is an area that everybody, literally everybody, is concerned with. So we are happy to welcome in Todd Krentz this morning. How's it going, Todd?
It's going great. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing okay. We're here plugging away getting toward the middle of September. We're getting toward the end of summer. And let me just, from a financial perspective, as we keep an eye on our finances throughout the year, are there, generally speaking, times of the year that are more important for investing, or is it really just based on current events and what is happening around us?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I've heard recently on various financial news outlets that September and October are typically weaker months of the year, but our team and I, we've always tried to encourage investors to kind of step back and keep a long-term perspective in mind. Certainly, Chris, you mentioned the week-to-week headlines, and they do have an impact on day-to-day market moves. But again, stepping back, I think we try to look longer term and try to encourage investors to avoid the day-to-day and week-to-week noise and focus more on their long-term goals, focus more on, are they in the right blend of stocks and bonds? Is it aligned with their comfort level with risk? Things like that. There's certainly been a lot of noise this year, so we continue to beat that drum to try to keep a longer-term perspective in mind, because it's tough. You hear some good news, some bad news, and it's a distraction more than helpful in a lot of cases.
Yeah, every day, some headline is changing, and you generally, that longer term perspective, that longer term strategy is a solid way to go, a stable way to go. But for those of us who aren't experts in this area, How do you balance a long-term perspective with being proactive? Or in other ways, what's the difference between having a long-term perspective but still being proactive?
Yeah, Amy, I like that question because it kind of ties in some short-term tactical things that people can consider to overlay with their long-term goals. I'm certainly not suggesting that this is a set it and forget it mindset where we just open our statement the week before we retire and hope it all worked out. I think one of the interesting things is that, over the last 10 years, investors, if they've had some or a lot of exposure in equities, their portfolios are probably at all-time highs now. And you look back over the last 10 years, there's certainly been a lot of noise. We go back to garden variety corrections in late 18. We had COVID in the 2020 timeframe. Big surprise in 22 when Jerome Powell had forecast possibly up to 2 rate hikes that year and ended up the equivalent of 17 rate hikes. And we saw a pretty big pricing correction in the stock market and the bond market. The S&P was down 18 and bonds ended the year down 13, which was one of the ugliest sell-offs in bond market history. So you fast forward and get through the tariff tantrum in April of this year, and believe it or not, we're back to new all-time highs again. And I think a lot of that's attributed to the enthusiasm and spending around AI. So I would say, from a near-term standpoint, a question that might be valuable for investors to think about is, ask yourself the question, if there was a market correction expected possibly in the next 12 months, and this is all hypothetical, but if there was, am I positioned the way I want to be? Am I willing to see a correction in what I've seen my portfolio grow to over the last several years and look through it? And if the answer is no, I really like these gains that I've seen, and I'd like to, maybe recalibrate my strategy. That would be a time to dig into your overall portfolio, have a conversation with your financial advisor, see if rebalancing makes sense. And that's a big discipline that I think can provide a lot of value over long periods of time. But Amy, you're right. Looking at that every couple years might make sense.
So you talked about AI and how it will, and I mean, we always talk about how it's going to affect us in the future in multiple different ways. And we know there was the tech bubble from about 20 years ago or 15 years ago or so. And that ended up hurting a lot of people in, the money they had tied up in it. But artificial intelligence doesn't seem like the kind of thing to me, and I'm coming from a non-expert position here. It doesn't seem to be the kind of thing that is like a bubble. Like that really does seem like the future, and it will only continue to grow. So from an investment standpoint, how do you approach it?
Yeah, I don't forget the tech bubble bursting. I actually started in 2000, and we saw that unwind from 2000 through 01 and into 02 before it bottomed, and valuations got really expensive back then. Fast forward to today, you're right. I mean, the enthusiasm around AI is remarkable, and the spending year over year just continues to compound. Some recent data I've seen from J.P. Morgan, shows that AI spending will approach close to $200 billion this year, and probably double. Estimates are expecting that spending will double in the next 3 years. And a lot of market strategists, obviously, there's a lot of attention and a lot of conversation around this, and a lot of market strategists feel that we're in the early innings of this, and this can continue and will continue to grow. So I think back to your specific question, Chris, on how to manage that, I'd say if investors have exposure to large cap growth and some of these AI beneficiaries of AI technology, AI spending and investment, just take a look at your portfolio and be aware of concentration risk and some of the gains that you've seen. I don't want to suggest that you should sell out of all of your AI stocks, because that's not the case. I think there's definitely a role for that. But we've always advocated a diversified portfolio, and having exposure to that makes a lot of sense. And I think the reality too is a lot of the enthusiasm, it's really hot right now. These AI stocks have grown at remarkable paces over the last several years. And I think businesses, just the reality on applying this to investments and applying this to the corporate world is it'll probably take 2 to 3 years for companies to figure out how to use it, how to incorporate it into their business, and see if it can create more leverage on productivity, or allow them to downsize and still accomplish what they want, or create new revenue streams. I think there's a lot of opportunity out there, and it feels like we're in the early innings of exploration and application for that. I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's so big, obviously, the AI world and the financial world. And now we're taking a little tour because we're all over the place. But I'm bringing this up because this happened to me yesterday. I have a car repair that ended up being unexpectedly expensive. Like it was one of the big ones, which is never fun. And this is something that you would talk about with your financial advisor, but as you're looking at your money and how much you can invest and how much is in savings and how much an emergency fund, do you ever run into people where something hits them, an expense that's so big that you have to rebalance and reallocate how much they're investing versus how much they throw into savings, or even to refill that emergency fund?
Yes. Yeah, that's a great point. And, we talk a lot about long-term investment and aligning your portfolio today to mirror up with your long-term financial planning, goals. But the reality is we all have unexpected expenses that pop up. It could be health issues. It could be surprise expenses with the house or the car. And having an emergency fund is very important. And we do discuss that with our clients. And a general rule of thumb is have 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside. But I'm always reluctant to share that general rule of thumb because some people are very conservative, and the idea of only having 6 months is stressful. So in that conversation, and all of this is open dialogue, exploration, information to clients when we meet with them, if we feel like they're more conservative than that, we may end up doing 6 to 12 months of reserves. And the nice thing, you go back several years, money markets were paying nothing. CDs were paying nothing. I mean, back in 2020, the 10-year Treasury was paying around 0.5%. Fast forward to today, we've got money market funds across the industry that are, paying out 3 to 4%. And at least you're getting some reliable interest for your emergency bucket. And certainly, that's a great point. We always recommend leaving it at your bank and checking your savings, or leaving it in your investment account, but set aside and out of the stock and bond market, so you have liquidity and peace of mind when things pop up that are unexpected.
Todd Krentz, president of Krentz Financial Group. We appreciate your time. And Amy's got her car repair. I have to get a brand new car. So if you would like to chip in, let me know.
Great talking to you guys. Have a nice day.
He didn't even say no.
He's not going to buy the car.
Come on,
for you,
Todd. Damn it, Todd. Trying to get some free money over here.
He knows he doesn't want to break any radio rules. The radio police will throw you in jail.
No, it's a friendship. He's like, hey, here you go. Here's a little money for you for your car.
That's great. Well, I'm with you in spirit, and if I can help in any way, please let me know.
Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, guys. Have a nice day.
You too.
You too. That's Todd Krentz, president of Krentz Financial Group. Really love those people over there, Amy.
They're great. And speaking of cars.
Oh, cars.
Yeah, I have a car story. You have a car story. What I don't have, though, is a bug story.
Oh. Well, I wish you luck.
I don't have a bug story because I work with Rottler and they're the best. You don't want a bug story. I mean, the thing is, we've all been there. And it's always
I would rather have a bug story right now than a car story.
It's always the worst time possible because you're having a guest over and that's when a roach shows up. Or you're having dinner guests for a birthday party or whatever, and that's when the ants crawl across the countertop. You need to visit Rottler.com. They can take care of you. Schedule a free inspection. Have them just look at your house, and they really will protect it from bugs like ants, which are the worst because there's an army, and even like the occasional invaders. I was talking about silverfish and other bugs, and Ron said, save your garments from the varmints. You don't want your garments getting eaten. And then with the weather changing, rodents. I mean, this is the time when mice and other rodents can make their way indoors. I don't understand how they fit through cracks and crevices, but they do. And then once inside, especially mice, they multiply rapidly. And the last thing you want is opening up the utensil drawer and seeing the droppings from the mice. The telltale sign is that you have mice in your kitchen. It's the worst. And especially a lot of people in Missouri, in the St. Louis area, we've all been there, and it's not great. But Rottler, they can protect your home year round. Visit them today. Schedule a free inspection. They're available. They're the largest family-owned pest control company in Missouri. They'll show up. Rottler.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Football is back, thank goodness. And Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri, and playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more during football season. There is nothing better. Download the app today and sign up with promo code TOM. That's really important. Promo code TOM to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TOM. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked many times how Morgan & Morgan became the largest injury firm in the world. I think I know. When someone comes to us for an on-the-job injury, we have a huge workers' compensation practice. But many times we find a defective product that was responsible for that injury. Luckily for them, we have a product liability section headed by my son, Mike. In addition to the comp case, there's a product case too. Other times, the injured worker is fired or harassed for bringing that claim. We have them covered. Our employment lawyers handle retaliation claims as well as wage theft and discrimination cases, and in some cases need to file for Social Security benefits. No problem. We became big for a reason. 30% of our new cases come as referrals from former clients. Hiring us is easy. Go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer, or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
So yesterday we had the conversation. I don't even know how it started.
Started with me.
Oh, being a Hoosier?
Yeah, because my car's got not a small amount of duct tape in it, in the inside, holding it together. And also my seat is ripped, so I put a seat cover on it, and the seat cover's ripped, and my bumper is bumping
You're
out.
using duct tape to literally keep your car together.
The inside,
which is a very
different.
Which is a very Hoosier-ish thing to do. And I should also note that nobody uses Hoosier the way we use it.
Mhm.
Just a reminder that it's only St. Louis
The bourgeoisie.
that uses Hoosier
Yeah.
in a pejorative sense, right? Everywhere else, it just means somebody from Indiana.
Yeah.
But
or
not
that
here.
you went to school.
Yeah, he went to school
IU.
there.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that yesterday, and we had multiple people who texted into the show. And the texter says, what about a shower beer? It's a little Hoosier, but you should try it out. And I'm going to tell you right now, I love a shower beer. Love it.
It feels a little try hard to me.
How? You're at home by yourself.
It's hot in the shower. The beer
That's
is going to
why it's great.
But the beer is going to warm up fast.
It does not.
And it's all drippy.
Yes, it's just, it's great. Everybody who does a shower beer loves it.
Save
and
time.
It's great. It stays cold. You don't sip it. You're drinking it. You're actively drinking the beer as you get ready to go do whatever it is you're about to go do.
So I feel like this is
Shower beers are
overwhelmingly
awesome.
men. Does it feel that way?
I know quite a few women who do it.
Because women have a lot more to take care of in the shower. Like, I can't drink a shower beer and shave.
Well, first of all, you don't have it in the shower with you the whole time. It's right outside. You reach out, you grab it, take a sip, put it right back down.
I've seen the shower beer, the suction cup, where it suctions to the wall. It's the cup holder.
Yeah, you could do that.
That's where I first saw shower beer.
A lot of people don't. You just kind of keep it right outside the shower.
I think it's huge.
Awesome.
And after you have a little sip, just pour a little bit on top, kind of rub it in the hair a little bit, just a little bit.
Ugh.
Well, I've never done that.
That's a little yeasty.
That's just me. Okay.
This texter
gross.
says, I wash my hands with the straw of my glass in a restaurant.
The straw of my wait.
So you take the
Okay,
straw,
yeah.
I think, and you pull some water out
Yeah.
and you put it in your hands and then you rinse your hands. Then I dry it with napkins. She says, my husband is not a Hoosier and absolutely hates it.
Yeah, that's weird. And also, don't you have to touch the sucking part with your hands?
You do. Yeah. You do. You put you
Yeah.
have to touch the part where you put your mouth
Yeah.
with your gross finger that you're about to
Yes.
wash. I actually did this, but not with the straw. I did it the other day at a restaurant. But I was sitting on a patio.
Yeah.
And I poured the glass into my hand
Yeah, that's gross. Why don't you just go to the bathroom?
because it was convenient. It was right
no,
there.
that's Hoosier. That's Hoosier.
The bathroom was on the opposite side of the restaurant. This one says, I used to eat chili out of a can in college. I only had to wash the spoon. The texter is
So-
from Mailman Lou.
Mailman Lou, I've done that.
Out of the can?
Yes.
Like, did you warm it up?
No, you can't warm up a can. I mean, I guess on
Like
a
on the stove,
on
maybe?
an open flame. Yeah, you just open it up and then you just eat it out of the can.
What are you talking about?
I know, it's gross. You're just so lazy.
You've eaten chili out of the cold?
It's
like room temperature?
Room temperature.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Well, you only have to wash the spoon, and you're
Oh.
hungry.
What does it matter with you?
I'm a little hoosh, but I forgot about that. I forgot I have
You're-
I've
you're-
eaten SpaghettiOs out of the can.
You're over here talking about how Hoosier a shower
Yeah.
beer is, which everybody does.
Well,
Harambe says that we should think about a bubble bath beer because it's glorious.
so here's the thing with baths. They're so boring and they're hot.
And gross.
Hot and boring, like me.
Hey,
wow. Wow.
That straw thing.
Did you
at the
hear what she
restaurant?
just said?
Yes, I'm trying to ignore it.
Hot and boring like me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like, I can't decide.
It's both a compliment and an insult.
I can't decide if what you just did was arrogant or not.
It's the boring that's
Oh my
throwing you
God.
off.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, what, Matt?
Oh, the straw thing at the restaurant reminded me of something Hooge that my dad did. I think just once because I caught him. I asked him to never do it again. I've seen him take silverware at a restaurant and use it to scratch his back. Not like over the shirt, but still. I'm like, you can.
What?
I will not be seen in public with you doing that at a restaurant.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
To his
really
defense,
bad.
not under the shirt. It was over the shirt, but still disgusting. And yeah.
Come on, dude.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
It's like the fork. Does he use the fork?
Oh, the fork's the best instrument for
You
scratching.
could
if you had
use
to
the
pick
butter
one.
knife.
I think a spoon would be okay.
Spoon would
You wouldn't-
actually
it
work
wouldn't
too.
poke you as much.
He scratches his back with the
Just
restaurant fork?
One time I caught him. So maybe he's done
Did
it
you
without...
say something to him?
I did.
What'd you say?
I said, we're in public.
Wow, that's so bad. That's so much worse than anything any of us have ever said.
God, that's the oh wow.
Because now
That's
his,
so gross.
his skin flakes
No, it's
are
over
in the restaurant.
It's over the shirt. It's over the shirt.
Still
Oh,
gross.
this one reminds me of the story about the cereal yesterday.
Mhm.
A message comes in. Had a Hoosier friend that would take a pat of butter, put it in his mouth, then eat the corn on the cob.
That's so much worse.
Oh my God.
That's pretty bad.
My God.
That's so much butter.
Oh.
I can taste that. A pat of butter and then eat the corn on the cob. Oh man.
Jeff
All
in
right.
Tulsa recommends cold Chef Boyardee ravioli in the can.
Yeah, that's
No.
pretty gross. Robert on YouTube said his brother-in-law uses his car keys to dig into his ears.
Come on, man. Do you know how gross a car key is? You just shoving that in your ear?
Oh my god.
Robert, does your brother-in-law listen to this show? I just need to know. Let
That's
us
so
know.
gross and dangerous.
It's
You're
super
gonna
dangerous.
Punch out your eardrum.
Another message says it is
Ugh.
beyond nasty, gross to eat or drink in the bathroom. Now, I
Yeah.
agree, unless it's a shower beer. Shower beer is okay because it's alcohol and it's killing whatever's on it.
I keep my toothbrush in a closet. Away from the toilet.
I keep my toothbrush.
Toothbrush?
I keep it definitely covered.
Yeah.
Because of the poo particles in the air when you
fecal
flush.
matter.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, this car key brother-in-law does not listen to the show.
What are you talking about?
Recruit him.
We're his people.
Man, these are some Hoosier people. This is pretty bad.
Bob writes in that he knows a guy who scratches his underarms with his hairbrush.
Oh. What is wrong with you people?
What in the hell?
Uh,
We're going to talk some Cardinals.
yeah, John Rooney's next.
John Rooney is next, voice of the Cardinals. He joins us on KMOX.
This isn't your typical lunchtime baseball chatter. This is the Gas House Gang.
I'll say this. Here's my perspective.
Tom Ackerman, Chris Ronti, Mike Claiborne, and Bernie Nicholas bring smart, informed Cards talk. And every Tuesday,
We welcome in the manager of the Cardinals, Oliver Marmol.
you want real Cardinals conversation? You're in the right place. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of baseball.
Hey Illinois, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. Sorry St. Louis, this message is for our friends in the Metro East. Did you know that most Missouri-based tree contractors can't legally travel into Illinois? This is due to federal motor carrier regulations that require large trucks and their drivers to be registered with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration in order to travel across state lines. Almost all other tree services in Missouri fail to meet the requirements for safety, drug and alcohol testing, and equipment maintenance that are required for interstate travel. Here at Timberline, we meet and exceed all of these requirements and will be glad to travel across the river to meet all of your tree care needs. Call us today at 636-479-7475 for tree fertilization, pruning, insect and disease treatment, or complete removal. Or visit our website at stltreecare.com. That's stltreecare.com for service in the Metro East area.
Currently at 76 degrees, partly sunny and warm today, a high of 89. Tonight, clear with a low of 59. Weather sponsored by the Woodlands of Arnold Senior Living.
The Woodlands of Arnold campus offers skilled rehab, a beautiful assisted living community, and a secure memory care to keep your loved ones safe. Check us out at rspseniorliving.com. That's rspseniorliving.com.
This is Justin Brown with Krenz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. As retirement approaches, one question matters most. How will you replace your paycheck? With decades of experience, we've helped retirees turn uncertainty into clarity through personalized income planning and steady guidance. Our proactive strategies are designed so you can enjoy the retirement you worked your lifetime for, with clarity, confidence, and peace of mind. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not broker dealer.
I don't want to rub it in, but if you had called Chesterfield Fence and Deck earlier this year, you could be enjoying beautiful fall weather on your beautiful new deck, or on your patio, or in your custom sunroom or screen room. But it's not too late to call Chesterfield Fence and Deck and make sure that you have everything in place so that you can enjoy your outdoor space to its fullest. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best, celebrating their 57th year in business. They've been one of St. Louis's top names in home improvement because they put quality and professionalism first in everything they do, with the best, longest lasting outdoor products available, a skilled installation team with years of experience. Mention me, Debbie Monterey, and they'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. Stop by and visit them in the Chesterfield Valley. They've got a beautiful showroom, or you can visit them online right now at chesterfieldfence.com. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best.
Fridays mean football. From the zoo to the NFL, we've got your weekend covered.
All three, ready?
It's Friday football on KMOX.
Now, the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX, sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
The 1-0 pitch here for Gorman. He swings, sends that to left field. Arozarena dives, he can't get it. The ball gets by him and goes to the wall. Here's Contreras coming around third. He's going to score. Gorman has an RBI double. 1-0 Cardinals in the second.
Cardinals finish up their series with the Mariners tonight. It is a 8:40 first pitch. We will have a 7:45 pregame show right here on KMOX. That means Redbird Rush Hour with Matt Pauley and Kevin Wheeler happen at 5. Then that pregame show a little bit later, 7:45, Sports Open Line starts at 6. So there's plenty of sports programming tonight on 104.1 FM. We go to the guest line today. John Rooney is the voice of the Cardinals, and he is with us now on KMOX. Good morning, John.
Good morning. How are you?
We are doing okay. The Cardinals play this game tonight, and I'm just looking at the schedule here because it's tonight and then in Milwaukee over the weekend after an off day tomorrow. And then it's the final homestand of the season. The 3 against the Reds and then 3 against the Brewers next week. It's always, I know that there's still mathematically a possibility the Cardinals make it to the playoffs, but for the regular season coming to an end here, it's a little sad to look ahead and see that.
Well, it is coming to a close, and it has been like most seasons that I've covered over the years, up and down. You have 4 or 5 seasons within one sometimes. And they've had a few more than that, I think, within this season for the Cardinals. But if we just had a little more consistency with the starting pitching, injuries took key players away here late. Who knows? They might be within a game or in a wild card if they had been able to avoid some of that.
Yeah, speaking of injuries, Mason Wynn has a torn meniscus, but he said the doctors said as long as he can handle the pain, he probably won't make it worse by playing. So he said that he feels he owes it to the guys to finish strong. He said they technically still have a shot at the playoffs. He wants to go and compete, be there for the pitchers. So I think even, we're looking at the standings. We know it's a long shot, but the guys are going out there thinking, hey, we're only, 4.5 games back. There's still a chance.
Well, as long as the Mets keep losing, and if they can make some hay and gain some ground on some of the other teams, you're absolutely right. But Mason has really been performing at a very good level under terrible circumstances with that knee. And his shortstop play has been unreal. And he was able to throw out Julio Rodriguez at the plate on a relay in the game on Monday night. And probably so JC could have made that play, but it would have been bang, bang, where Mason made a throw to make Rodriguez out by about 5 feet.
How surprised will you be if he does not end up with a Gold Glove this year?
I'll be shocked if he doesn't end up with a Gold Glove. He's been that good. He deserves it. He was in the conversation last year, but definitely he should be a Gold Glove winner this year in my mind.
Yeah, so he's been fantastic at the position, continues to grow as a player. At the plate, what sort of growth have you seen from him?
Well, you got to keep in mind that's a bad knee, and if you don't have your legs, your hands in this game, you can't play it. And I know that has been a factor. Just like Burleson before he went on the injured list, he was up right around 290 something, and he's still hitting well. but he was coming off the bat with one hand because of a sore wrist. If you don't have your hands, you can't perform. And with that knee hurting the way it does with Mason, that definitely affects him at the plate. But I like his approach. He takes the ball to right field if he has the opportunity. He gets in protect mode with 2 strikes. And when he has a runner in scoring position, he cashes in with runs batted in. One of the best was running runners in scoring position on the ball club by far.
Matthew Liberatore pitched last night, 4 innings, 5 runs. They were earned. And we talked to Oliver Marmol yesterday, too, who said when talking about the rotation and the pitching for the rest of the year that he does believe that, he won't have to give anybody rest unless injuries dictate it, but that he's got enough innings to cover through the end of the year. What do you think of Liberatore's season?
Well, he had a great start to his season, and everything looked promising. And then right around the All-Star break, he'd get to about 75 pitches, and then he was fading, and they were worried a little bit about the workload with Liberatore. But last night, he looked good for 2 innings, and then in the third, things started to come apart, got through it. But in the 4th inning, it all came apart, and that's as far as he could go, the 4 innings last night. And bullpen took over and did a good job the rest of the way. But the Cardinals were already down, and that 2-run deficit at that point in the game seemed like about a 20-run deficit because the Seattle bullpen hasn't given up a run in this series.
Yeah, and he talked about the bullpen too, Ollie did, including guys like Kyle Leahy, who when they come in, it's a lot of times multiple innings. So just sort of being careful with the innings at the end of the year. This pen, John, has still been pretty good. I mean, we, despite the fact they made those trades, and I know we talked about this on Monday, that maybe they've gotten even a little bit better, but specifically Leahy and what he's been able to provide for them. What do you think?
Well, Ricky was talking about it last night that Leahy, they're stretching him out because he's going to be a starter in all likelihood or given the chance next year. So he can handle the multiple innings, and he has the pitches to be a starter. But he had gone to a point in the season when they took a strong look at that. That was too late to really stretch him out and put him in the rotation. And he's been a valuable component to the bullpen. So, no, Leahy has been good. The bullpen has been good, but you just have to get to it with a lead. And that's been a problem.
John Rooney, tonight there is more Cardinals baseball happening, a 7:45 pregame show and an 8:40 first pitch. We will be listening in. We appreciate your time as always.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
That is John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, along with Ricky Horton has the call. Mike Claiborne on the broadcasts as well. Most of the time he is there. So, yeah, the season is dwindling. Yeah. It's almost over.
So I have a question, Matt, if you have thoughts on this as well. When the Cardinals aren't in the playoffs, when they don't really have a shot, like you said, technically they do, but when it's a long shot, do you like going to those end of season games? Is there a different vibe? Is it a sad vibe? Is it fun because you're trying to soak in the last few moments of summer?
I mean, for me, it's just baseball still. Yeah. I mean, if you know where the team is going or where it's not going, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with going, just enjoying baseball for what's left. There are only 6 games left this year. You could probably get pretty good deals on tickets also. So, yeah, I like going. It is a little bit sad, though, when you realize that there's just not a whole lot of tension, because that's what you're looking for in the final couple of weeks of September. You're looking for a little bit of tension, a little bit of got to win this game. It's big for the playoffs. And if we don't win, we're going to miss out. I still like it. I like the vibe of baseball, like the food, like the smells and the sounds and all that stuff. But it's just not quite the same when there's no playoff tension.
Yeah, I definitely savor the last few games as well, because I know in the middle of winter and I'm stuck inside and it's 0 degrees outside, I'd rather be at the ballpark. So I definitely try to take in every last bit of hot dog smells and Cracker Jack smells and the sights of the ball game as I can, because I know soon in the future it's going to be windy and cold, and that's when I'm stuck inside.
Well, yeah, it's not going to be windy and cold.
Not this weekend. Yeah.
My God.
But I will say, right, I think it's just shifting your mentality. I do look forward to watching cold baseball Obviously, it's way more fun when the Cardinals are in it, but I still watch playoff baseball. I love playoff baseball. I love October baseball. But you shift your mentality if it's not a big playoff push, and you really do just have to savor it because it's going to be the dead of winter before you know it, and it's fun to go to Busch Stadium.
Can we talk about this stupid weather this weekend? And I know we have no control over it, but it doesn't make me any less infuriated that we had this gorgeous weekend last weekend.
Yeah.
And the week leading up to it, 70 degrees. I think
it's the last one, though. I think if you can survive this, I'm pretty sure it's the last one. I say that with zero authority.
We are going to get on Saturday a near record high. The high temperature in 1939 on that date, September 13th, was 100. We're going to get 99.
Oh my gosh, is it 99?
Yes.
The last I looked, it was
AccuWeather's
95.
forecast right now says 99 degrees for a high on Saturday. That's outrageous. Can we stop it? It's blank in September.
I'm going to be in Aspen. And actually Saturday I'll be in Vail. And it looks like the high is 63 and the low is 37.
So we're getting 89 today. And then 91 tomorrow, 93 Friday. Then it's going to be like mid 90s, low 90s all the way through until Friday of next week, at least. Just come on. Come on. Stop with this crap.
Oh, I have an update on my car. And I just want to say, I think the listeners saved my life. So we're going to get to that.
Tell me more about it. Next on KMOX.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events, so call your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent or visit mofbinsurance.com to find an agent near you, and we'll make sure you have the right coverage for each of life's wins.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri, in good times and in bad. We're for Missouri families and Missouri communities. We're for giving back to those communities and lifting people up. And when Missouri weather rips through our state, we're for helping put back the pieces. We're for brighter days and new tomorrows. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you live in Missouri, we're for you.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at KMOX.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
When life happens and you need to sell your St. Louis area home, call trusted realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is St. Louis's real estate expert with more than 22 years of experience and expertise, helping you sell quickly and for the most money.
Selling your home can be so stressful, especially if life happens, like a sudden job change, a passing of a loved one, or a growing family. Knowing exactly how much your home will sell in today's market is the first step. Then I back it up with an upfront written guarantee. My guarantee is simple and easy to understand. If I can't sell your home at our agreed upon price and time frame, I'll buy it myself.
When life happens, the name to remember is Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I strongly suggest you call her right now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Martzgors, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
So I think the listeners saved my life, Ranj.
All right.
Remember when I was talking about my car and how I might have an exhaust leak?
Mm-hmm.
And the first place that I went to said, oh, you're probably fine. It's probably been like this for a long time. I think it has. It's been loud and so forth. And then we had some listeners text in. Amy, I hope you're driving with your windows down. That's really dangerous. Amy, you need to get that fixed right away. So because of our listeners, I started Googling exhaust leaks. And it is very dangerous because it could funnel all that exhaust and carbon monoxide directly into the cabin of the car, aka me. And so I took my car, I called around, and I called Dobbs in Sunset Hills. And I have to shout out John at Dobbs in Sunset Hills. They got me in. And yes, my exhaust leak, it was bad. And the inside of my car was starting to smell like exhaust. So I had to get it replaced, which they did. They took care of me right then and there. That is not cheap to get the exhaust system replaced. But shout out to Dobbs for taking care of me, and shout out to the listeners for saving my life. What if I died breathing in the exhaust?
Well,
because I could have. I had a headache.
That'd have been a real tragedy.
Also,
I would have gotten a couple days off work, though.
I don't think so. Steve would say that.
Do you think he'd make me do the show if you died?
100%.
If I found out at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
I think if you found it at 8:58.
Seriously?
Yeah. Who is he going to get to
Hold
fill
on.
in?
I need to make an executive declaration here.
Yeah.
When somebody dies, they're not playing Scotland the Brave. They're just not. That's a celebration. We need to find real.
What?
We need to find real.
That's our something died music.
Yeah, and just what I'm saying is they don't play that when somebody died.
Well, what are you going to
It's
play
not
when
the
I
only
die?
bagpipe song there is.
I feel like you'll always hear bagpipes at funerals.
You do,
And that's
but
the
it's
only
not that song.
Oh.
That's
Well, we don't want to
that's-
play Amazing Grace. That feels sacrilegious.
That is the one though that everybody plays at the funeral.
How about that song where the dogs are, in the commercial with Sarah McLachlan?
Oh,
Arms of an
geez.
Angel.
No, don't say that.
Is there a bagpipe version of that? If you could find a bagpipe version, let's go with that. I'm into it.
Why don't you, because I think the dog commercial is the saddest commercial. Why don't you play her other song, which is I Will Remember You? I will remember you on the bagpipes.
But hold on, let's get back to me here real quick. So I would have to come to work?
Obviously you would. Steve would say, who else is going to do the show? I got to have a show. You're stealing from the company. Like he would.
But I'm distraught.
You're fine.
I can't come in and do the show.
This is
I'm
what
distraught.
Matt's going to do. You're going to come in and go, I can't do the show. Amy died. And Matt's going to go, you're fine.
No. I'm distraught. I
No.
can't do it. And I get an A for the semester.
No, that's your grandma.
No,
Guys.
I don't think that's what that is.
Yeah.
That-
At any rate,
Well,
okay.
Matt, when you were in college, did they have the thing where they said if your roommate dies, you get an A for the semester.
There was
that was like
something-
this. That was everybody used to
That's
say
like
that in college.
incentivizing people to
Yeah.
commit murder.
I always heard that if somebody died in the classroom while taking the test, everybody passed.
While taking the test?
Like, yeah.
So,
in the middle
wait,
of the
wait,
test?
Wait.
Yeah.
That means if one person
That's
passes,
a very
you all
specific
do.
thing to have happen.
You missed it. If one person passes, you all do.
Oh.
That's the rule.
It's actually
Okay.
not bad.
That's pretty good. Okay, I will say this. I thought I had a news story yesterday because I was
By
driving.
the way,
Oh
so
my
you
gosh.
keep talking about your stupid car.
Yeah.
Mine's going to be
Nobody
way more
cares.
expensive.
No, it's not.
Mine's yes,
It's
is.
totaled.
Yes, you're not listening to me.
You get a new car.
Not a brand new one. I'm going to get the money from the insurance.
It's worth it.
Okay, but I'm going to end up having to pay way more than you to get a new car. Do you
Okay.
understand that?
Do you want the bagpipes for that? Maybe the Sarah McLaughlin
Who?
song.
Okay, if you are listening and would like to give me a car, my car's dead. It's in the arms of an angel now. So who wants to help me get a new car?
Nobody cares, Ranj.
Then why would they care about your car?
They don't. I'm just killing time right now.
Ah.
But
That's a great radio tactic.
no, I'm trying to tell a story. I wanted to shout out John at Dobbs. Nobody cares about you and your car because we're tired of caring about your drama with moving and blah blah blah. And everyone's got problems and they don't need to take on yours. But here's the thing. I thought I had a news story yesterday because I was driving down 44 and it smelled really bad. I got on at Lafayette.
It usually does.
Does it?
Down 44.
I don't think it does because I take 44.
I think it's
a
those
lot.
people out there.
Oh my gosh.
The Hoosiers.
Anyway,
it's the
I
Hoosiers
got on
that
at
we've been
Lafayette,
talking about.
And I'm driving west on 44. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it smells like maybe sewage exploded. And then I kept driving and it got worse and it's in my car. And so, you turn off the AC and you're like, I can't have this pulling in my car, or you have at least it on the recycle air AC. And it's getting pretty strong. So I roll down the windows. I'm like, oh my gosh, it smells like poo. Like I have no other way to say it. And it was so bad. I thought this is going to be a news story. As soon as I get to my destination, I'm Googling what happened in 44. I thought, I think this has been an ongoing story. I think people have talked about a smell. So I roll my windows up and I drive another, say, 30, 45 seconds with no air, right? I should be away from the smell now. And I roll down the windows. Oh my gosh, it hits me. I almost black out. I'm driving down 44. I almost black out from the smell. And so I roll the windows back up and I'm thinking, I can't get away from this. Must be a huge factory explosion. And it's only then that I realize there's a truck in front of me that I've been slowly inching closer to this entire time. And in that
Filled
truck
with pigs.
was filled with pigs.
Was it pigs?
Yes.
Wow, what a guess.
And by the smell of
Wow.
things, they all had diarrhea. It was so
Awesome.
bad. So as I was speeding up to get away from the smell, I was bringing myself closer to the smell. It was full of pigs. So obviously no news story there. Here I thought there was some kind of explosion at the sewage plant. So I get to the fast lane, the left lane, and there's someone who's decided that it would be a great idea to drive parallel with the pigs. And now I'm like, this guy better pass this truck because I'm going to throw up. Finally, he passed the truck. We get past the truck. I open the windows. The smell is gone. But it is unbelievable, the smell of pigs on a truck and how far it permeates down the highway.
Isn't it amazing how good they taste on the plate?
I don't eat pork.
You don't?
I don't. But
Why?
it just doesn't work with me. But yes, I can imagine a pork steak tastes really good. And maybe they were on their way to become pork steaks. But I think they were sick. I think they were real sick. It smelled so bad.
Well, I'm glad that they didn't, none of the pigs. Have you seen the video of is it the cow? I think it's the cow being transported and they've got the trailer behind the truck and the trailer door is just swinging open and it's on the highway.
Oh my
And the people in the
gosh.
car next are trying to notify the guy like, hey, and the cow just walks out of the back and then it rolls down.
Oh no! That's
The car was going like
sad.
65 miles an hour. Oh, the
That
poor
killed
cow.
the cow,
I don't
probably.
think it killed the cow. They're sturdy, man.
Not that sturdy.
It's the Chris and Amy show. Our midday, midlife is coming up. We were asking the question earlier before the show, actually, that if your parents, like what they did to you, helped influence how you raise your children. And we're going to talk to two of our favorites, Beth Coughlin from the KMOX newsroom, our news director here, and Megan Lynch, anchor reporter here at KMOX, will join us to give us their stories. That is next on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and some of you may know that I moved my mother to St. Louis about a year ago because she's aging and I needed to help her with day-to-day things, including getting her estate planning together. I recently met with the folks at Jansky Law. Martin Jansky is an elder law attorney, and that's exactly what he does. Everything from your power of attorney to advanced estate planning, including probate. Maybe you have your estate documents completed, but a nursing home could be in the future for you or a loved one. Jansky Law can help with pre-crisis and nursing home planning as well. Martin Jansky has 30 years of experience, young or old, no matter what your age. If you love your family and want to make sure that your wishes happen or help them ensure theirs do, call Jansky Law at 314-881-6141 or online at janskylaw.com. That's with a J, Jansky law.com. Again, Jansky law.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
It is 11 o'clock, and right now it looks like we've got a few clouds, but sunshine and 79 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Researchers in Switzerland concluding that climate change has increased the likelihood and intensity of more than 200 heat waves across the globe.
While that may not sound surprising, researchers also determined that the emissions associated with 180 of the largest producers of fossil fuels and cement contributed significantly to climate change that made the heat waves worse. In fact, 14 of those companies, including ExxonMobil and Saudi Aramco, have made the same contribution to climate change as the other 166 combined. Tracy Wolf, CBS News.
What if you could buy your marijuana in the same place you buy your beer? A coalition of Missouri hemp businesses and others have filed 4 initiative petitions that would ask voters to approve the selling of cannabis products in the same stores that sell tobacco and alcohol. Currently, the state issues limited licenses to businesses that sell marijuana and cannabis products, and they are highly regulated. Although it's not clear about the success of the effort, since Republicans in the Missouri legislature are changing the initiative petition process to make it much harder to pass constitutional amendments. A close encounter on Capitol Hill with a whistleblower showing some extraordinary video during a hearing about UFOs. It seems to show a U.S. military drone shooting a missile at an unidentified object off the coast of Yemen last year.
Congressman Eric Burleson shared the video at a House Oversight Committee on what the military calls unidentified aerial phenomena, better known as UFOs.
That's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
We've never seen a Hellfire missile hit a target and bounce off.
That is CBS's Charlie D'Agata reporting. About 200 protesters attempted to block an Amazon warehouse just south of Paris in support of the site's workers and as part of the Block Everything movement, which reflects popular discontent with what protesters deem a dysfunctional ruling elite preaching a painful gospel of austerity. David Bowie's archive opens to the public this week at London's Victoria and Albert Museum, revealing a treasure trove of 90,000 plus items, including unrealized projects and personal items. Dick Van Dyke turns 100 in December, and fans can celebrate at the movie theater with a new documentary that includes a visit to his home of Danville, Illinois. Van Dyke expressed his surprise and gratitude for the film in the making for more than 3 decades. The Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. The producer price index dipped 0.1% on a month-on-month basis, according to the Department of Labor data. Analysts had expected a 0.3% increase. CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady.
Then you also look at energy. That also dropped. So that's sort of offsetting some of these overall numbers.
President Trump reiterated his call for Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell to lower interest rates now, calling the central bank chief a total disaster. Taking a look at the forecast for today.
A mix of sun and clouds this afternoon and much warmer than it has been of late. The high 89, then mainly clear tonight, though 65. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high 91. Sunny and hot on Friday, high 94. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's 79 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX, brought to you by St. Louis Union Station. St. Louis Wheel Park now offers 3 brand new amusement rides.
Revelations here in Studio B as we welcome in Megan Lynch, a KMOX News reporter, and Beth Coughlin, the news director here at KMOX. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Thank you. I'm not sure if I should be honored to join the conversation or offended because the topic is what? Midlife?
Well,
midlife
no.
crisis?
Well, as opposed to middle-aged, which is way more offensive. So here's how we're defining midlife. It's 35 to 45. And pretty much no one in this room
I'm blown past that.
I'm the only one, I think, who's in the
right.
I'm 42.
I feel better then.
So midlife is 35 to 45 because we were talking about like your 30 that age range specifically is so weird because you could have kids in college or you could have a baby. I mean, you know, like, and a lot of my friends, some of them are sending kids to college or kids are even getting married, and some of them literally have an infant that they're holding. And, you know, parents, some grandparents are thriving and some grandparents are taking care of them. So we are doing our weekly midweek, midday, midlife, and invited you ladies in because Matt had the great question about, like, what did you learn, Matt Pajeski, our producer, what did you learn from your parents or experience with your parents that you either decided to carry on when you became a parent yourself, or maybe decided you would do the exact opposite because you didn't like it? And just some behind the scenes here, I started talking to Beth in her office before the show, and you were thinking through your parents. And do you want to kind of set the table on what you talked through and how you got to the one conclusion that you did?
Yeah, I think I had to really stop and say, boy, first of all, I'm recognize that I'm extremely lucky. My parents are still married. They've been married for 50 years. And when I stopped to think about, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and are there things that my parents did that I either tried to do the opposite or try to emulate? It must be subconscious for me. I feel like I had a wonderful childhood. I think very fondly of my parents and just the whole family dynamic that we have. But one of the things that I brought up to you, Amy, is that I never really felt like my parents were affectionate with each other. I knew they loved me. I knew they loved my siblings. I knew they loved each other. But I don't think I ever saw them smooch. I don't think I ever saw a pat on the behind. I didn't see anything. I mean,
Nobody wants to watch their parents butt tap each other.
Apparently
My kids
Amy's-
love it.
See,
Yeah.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. No, they
I
don't.
know.
on.
I mean, I don't know. Stop.
I know.
So
I have to keep these two apart.
I don't know that that's necessarily different.
Yeah.
The way it's not that my parents were cold, but I don't think that it's something that parents really did back then was to be overly affectionate with each other. Maybe I'm wrong.
So can I tell a really funny story?
Please.
And I know my mom's not listening, so I can tell this. So I remember like my parents were just, I don't remember like noticing whether they were affectionate or not. I just remember like when I was a teenager, like coming home late and being like, hi guys, I'm home, and busting in their bedroom door.
Ew.
Yeah, and it was like, oh.
Ew.
So they were affectionate.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were quite
God.
affectionate. Wow. Up until the millisecond you walked in the door.
Yeah. Oblivious.
Wow.
Oblivious.
That is a
Yeah.
killer.
So this is coming from somebody who has no children. How does it happen that parents find a little moment where they're like, hey, let's have a little right?
Sexy time.
And then they go into a bedroom and they leave the door unlocked. How does that happen?
Right.
How do you leave the door
You are
unlocked?
victim blaming.
Yes. And
No,
when you
I'm not.
And when
Yes,
you
I am
tell-
actually. Yes.
When you tell your kid to be home at a certain time, and then they come upstairs and check with you that
Wait a minute.
so they know you're home.
So you lock the door now?
What?
So your parents, you're saying they should have locked the door.
Right.
Yes.
Do you lock the door now?
Oh yeah.
You don't lock the door?
Oh.
Listen,
just
there's
leave it
no
open?
time. There's no time. The bus is coming. Something's happening.
There's
They
no
got
time.
practice. You got to be efficient. You got to be organized.
Wait.
Parenting skill.
Hold on. There's no time for the thing,
No,
or there's
to
no
lock the
time
door.
for the lock the door part.
Well, if you got a limited amount of time, you got to.
You know what? You need that thing that Matt Lauer had where you can lock the door from.
We have the button with the desk.
Yeah.
He had a button on his desk, didn't he?
That's terrible.
Can
I
you
shouldn't
ima-
make a joke
can
like
you-
that.
I don't even know what I'd say. Like if she
It's
did
like
walk
being
in,
in-
what would you say? Like, well, and Amy, you were saying that your parents, I mean,
Are very affectionate. Yeah. So I grew up, my mom and dad have been married, I think 48 years now. They've been together for 51. Their first date was The Godfather. So that was where they went to see the movie, which is hilarious. My mom had no idea what she was getting into. But they've been married for 48 years. They have always been very affectionate. They kiss each other, they hug, they dance, the butt tap, all of that. They're very affectionate, but they've gotten more affectionate like as the years go on. I remember as a kid, my parents, my friends would come over and say, "Wow, your parents are really in love." And I'm like, "Oh, I know, they're like teenagers." Or when I was a teenager, or even like 20, I'd be like, "Oh, Mom, Dad, get a room." And my dad would say very calmly, "I have a room. I have a house. You don't
You're in
have a
my
room."
room.
Yeah.
Ew.
you don't have a room. And they are more in love than ever. Like I said, I think they've been married 48, 49 years. I stayed the night at their house a couple of months ago and came downstairs. My mom is making breakfast. My dad has smooth jazz playing because they discovered they love smooth jazz in the morning. And they're like dancing. They give each other a smooch. And he's like, "I've got this hot lady."
They don't lock the door. I promise. I promise.
Well, they got rid of their kids. They couldn't really
How do you
get rid of us.
them?
We keep coming back. My dad, if you
Oh.
know how to get rid of us, my dad
I feel like that's one way
wants to get rid of us. Yeah.
Keeping the door open, that'll get rid of
Well,
them.
they don't keep
right?
the door open. I'm just saying they dance. They're in love.
Well, what is that? I mean, what was that like all the time seeing this as the
Gross.
display?
Well,
or
it wasn't.
It's gotta be
it
gross.
wasn't like over the top. You're making it sound
Just
disgusting.
affectionate.
They were just very,
Yeah.
very affectionate. Kind of like if you saw them, you would think they're newlyweds. always, holding hands or sitting next to each other. And I would say there's a reason why like all the siblings like got married either super late or didn't get married because I think they set a really high bar. I really do. I think they set such a high bar. They are so in love with each other, and mom and dad came first. And even with the kids, and this is something that I would continue is you have to keep the mom and dad first. Like the kids don't come first. Mom and dad come first. Yep. And because you can always make more kids.
Oh my God.
I'll be honest.
To a certain
you
point.
can.
I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, once
Mom
you're
and
in
dad come
midlife,
first.
you can't keep making kids.
Well, and then it's on them at that point. Then they're adults.
Wow.
But I mean, mom and dad came first, and their date nights, and oh my gosh, never sleep in mom and dad's bed. Never. Like at night, they always had the door locked because, like, let's say there was a storm or I had a bad dream. Like I would like knock on the door. It didn't happen often, but I do remember I had a bad dream and I knock on the door. My dad's like, "You're fine."
Either of them snore? I mean,
I don't know.
A lot of couples sleep in different rooms these days.
No,
I
not
mean,
them.
Is it called sleep divorce?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
And they say that it's really beneficial, or it can be.
I mean, if you need a good night's sleep.
Okay, but
That maybe you don't resent each other so much.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget though. You said because your parents weren't affectionate.
Oh, I try to make a point for my daughter to see, affectionate things between my husband and I, and the little things that you make fun of, the pats or the
Little hug.
little
Yeah.
hug or a smile or love you, even just love you, in front of her, and I think that's something I'm really cognizant of.
Yeah.
So, my mom and dad weren't really like that at all, but it was almost so many people around you get divorced. You
Mhm.
see that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think the fact they stayed together over 40 years was, I think to me, that was the message that, hey, this can
Mhm.
happen. And they got together, 6 weeks later, I think they were married.
Wow.
And it worked out.
Wow.
That's amazing, right?
That's amazing. Yeah.
How-
That's
But
amazing.
somehow,
Were they young?
somehow I did the exact, yeah, they were 21.
Well, yeah, and Megan was saying your dad had to.
His mom had to sign for him to get married
Yeah.
because I
Whoa.
think they were so young, and they had a child, their first child, within maybe 3 years of being married. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. My parents were really young
so-
too and had me right away.
Yeah, we were
So-
all very spread apart. Like it was almost like we each had a different set of parents in a
Mm.
way, just because of like, my older sister was the poor years,
Yeah.
There was no McDonald's money
no,
then.
no. And
Like Nate Bargatze said, the oldest looks around like, I don't think I should be here. I don't think you're ready for this.
I always felt really bad for my mom because she would say, like, with my older sister, she's like, we made so many mistakes. We were too young to have a kid. We didn't know what we were doing, And I feel bad for her
Yeah.
because I feel like, you did the best you could at the time. And then I'm the middle child. I came along 6 years later. And then my younger sister came along 11 years after me.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was like, whoa, what happened?
Damn.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was like a completely different family in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were like the Kennedys by the time she
Yeah.
rolled along.
Yeah,
My Lord.
she's the one who got taken to shop for prom dresses in St. Louis. None of
Yeah.
us got that. So
Wow.
yeah, no
Not
resentment
bitter about
there,
the
though.
prom dress.
Were they?
Yikes.
I love my younger sisters.
But this is like the reason why I said at the beginning that we have revelations in Studio B is because Megan Lynch, I always say, like, there are a couple people I'm scared of. One is Megan and one is Tina. And Megan, you're all business.
Mhm.
You are a hard scrabble, intrepid reporter. And you said that you're a softie.
I'm a touchy-feely person. Like I have to govern myself, like not to touch people when I talk to them
Yeah.
or give hugs or, like I coach teenage girls. Obviously in that role, you've got to be really careful, how you physically approach people. But
because you have like a motherly impulse on top of being a touchy-feely
yeah,
person.
I mean, I'm a hugger. My kids,
Yeah.
we hug all the time.
Do they love that?
They do love that.
Yeah.
I mean, even my 16-year-old
I was
son.
going to say they're teenagers.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
He still gives me now, not so much in public, but at home, he wants that hug. I think it's just really
I read-
important.
Oh, go ahead.
Those harassment training videos work. Because you don't touch anybody
Well,
here. You don't look at anybody.
No.
Unless it's with a scowl.
So
Or maybe it's just me.
my husband calls
That's
that
you, Chris.
my husband calls that news face.
Yeah.
You do have news face.
Michael
Wow.
Kelly, every
Resting
Friday,
news face.
Michael Kelly walks out of the room and goes, I don't know what I did, but Megan Lynch does not like me.
I think we've all felt that before.
So a guy actually broke up with me one time because he said I was too intense.
Oh.
And so yes, so I know I
You're
like
the original RBF.
probably.
Yep.
Probably
Resting broadcaster face.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I just yeah, and I know people
Yeah.
like I recently was told that I'm dismissive.
Oh.
You know, and I don't realize
Because of
that.
your face?
I don't know.
Your face is
Amy said
dismissing me.
something about me one
Oh,
time. She
no.
said, "You don't suffer fools," and you know, I had to really think about that. And I know, like, I know this about myself that I come across that way to people, and I don't know why.
I think it's awesome.
I don't know why, because if you really know me, you know I'm kind of goofy, really.
Yeah.
And I have kind of a sometimes an inappropriate sense of humor.
Do you feel like you're suffering now?
Yeah. Amongst us fools.
And I know Beth admires it because Beth is also scary.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, I know it's so funny. There's so much to get into, but the hugging thing about hugging your kids.
Oh, I read an article that always stuck with me was that whenever you're hugging your child, never be the first one to let go the embrace. Always let the child be the first one. Don't ever be, let them hold them as long as they need to be held. I mean, even this morning, my daughter was kind of hanging on my leg, like, Mom, put my hair in a ponytail, and I was like, I got to go to work. I got to go to work. And I was literally like pushing her off of me. And then I stopped and thought, this is how I'm going to start her day, by physically pushing her off of me when all she wants to do is hug me.
Oh, but come on, she knows what she's doing.
No,
she's
well, like, she
manipulating.
might be
Uh-huh.
trying.
These kids are smarter than you think.
That's like Ron when we have a meeting with Steve. He's just hugging him.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. She might be manipulating a little, but I'm always gonna like take that extra 30 seconds and just hold her as hard and long as I possibly can.
I always, such a fan of like, the different kids that I've worked with and talking to parents. Hug your kids, especially in the teenage years, and dads, hug your teenage daughter because that's a tough time, and teenage girls can definitely start to pull away or want attention from other boys, or even start to feel sorry for themselves, all the emotions, right, and lock themselves in their rooms. Don't let that happen. It is so important because, like, as the dad, you're the man in her life, when she's 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, and give her a hug and talk and be interested. I think that's so important.
Do you remember when we did the news story Fred Bottomer did about a hug needs to be 13 seconds long in order for you to feel something like viscerally like in your body? So that's a long time.
That is a long time.
Especially in radio. That's a long time to be hugging on somebody.
You almost have to pay for that at that
You gotta
point.
lock
It
the
turns
door.
into a live read.
This show, now that I think about it, this show is a 3-hour hug
Oh,
for the listener. It really is.
Sure.
You know what?
I
I
wanna
love
see you
you.
guys hug
I
now.
love you so much.
I'm glad
So
though.
much.
I think Megan though has done a great job because you're right. You don't want to walk into a corporate environment being super touchy feely.
Yeah.
Apparently, as we went to break, was it? I don't know if it was you or me. Somebody said we're going to have one of our favorites, Megan Lynch, come in. We said that on there, and I guess Megan's out in the newsroom like one of their favorites, grumbling about it. Like, what?
I know.
What the hell? We love you.
Am I really like this curmudgeon?
I
around
don't what
here?
you said out there. They were laughing about it. Come on, Megan.
Well, you pick on me all the time.
I love you.
So it's like an elementary school boy, like picking at a
I
girl,
guess-
and that's how you show affection.
I guess that's one way.
That sounds
troubling.
about right timeline wise for this guy.
You guys could hug it out during the break. 14 seconds at least.
Oh my
13
gosh.
seconds.
I'll record it and post it on your Facebook page. How about that?
I'm
is what-
in. Can we go to break so I can get my
Yeah,
hug?
We need to go to
Megan-
break. This is a harassment test, though. Remember.
Oh, yeah.
She said it was okay. Megan Lynch, Beth Coughlin, we love you both. We love you. See?
Hugs for everyone.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Guys, Glover here for my friends at my favorite sports fantasy app, Underdog. So baseball's still going on. Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri. Playing on Underdog is super easy. Just choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Download the Underdog app today and sign up with promo code Glover to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code Glover. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog, and you could be next. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_.html for details. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Eileen talks about her experience with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
A lot of gross kitchen in the beginning, cracked formica, bad floor, ripped linoleum, and I decided to heck with this. I want it done. And I found an ad from 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. I called him. Dave brought all of his stuff. We talked about what I wanted. I chose the materials. It was very easy. He came in. He did what he said. They did it in the time frame that they said, at the cost that they said. His crew was delightful. We came home. Everything had been cleaned up. I would say people are silly not to do 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. I just love it. It's just like I moved into a new home.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults focused on the future. Classes start September 17th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact-check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Just had a great conversation with Megan Lynch and Beth Coughlin from the KMOX newsroom about raising kids during our midweek midlife. And a couple of texters have come in, and this is along the lines of what your parents said to you, Amy, or the message that they gave. And this one says, my mom always said, I'm a wife first, a mother second, because you all will grow up and move away.
That's fun. I like that. And yeah, and it's also, it's said in a loving way. Like the best way I can describe it is when the parents' relationship is solid, that is the foundation of the family. I mean, that's the mom and dad need to be solid. My mom and dad never disagreed or argued in front of us. So if they did have real disagreements, I didn't know about it.
Closed
because
doors.
they were a unit, and they were the leadership unit. And dad and mom, demanded respect, and like you were not allowed to, if you talked to your mom, if you had an attitude or whatever, dad would say absolutely not. The same thing with the mom. So they were a unit, and I think kids need boundaries. Kids need to know that they're not in charge, that the world doesn't revolve around them because they're still figuring themselves out. And that's a chaotic world. If mom and dads give off the vibe that the kids are in charge, it doesn't do anything for the kids because it just makes their world chaos. There's so much security and comfort in knowing that there's a solid unit there. And I was very, very blessed to have that.
Also discussed having a little private time when you've got kids. And a message here from a listener. We had sliding doors with no lock.
Oh, no.
So us kids were told to go play because mom and dad were going to take a nap and they were locking the outside doors. It wasn't until I was saying the same things to our kids that it dawned on me what mom and dad were doing. Ew.
That's so funny. I can't imagine not locking the door. I lock the door when I use the bathroom. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like I always lock the door. I can't imagine not locking the door for that.
Talk about living by yourself though, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, my bathroom door in my little house doesn't have a lock. But I mean, but I also, like, it's too small to have people over. But I mean, like at my parents' house or my sister's house, my brother's house, I still lock the door. Don't go into the bathroom.
We talked earlier about the drug issue, the drug addiction issue, and the homelessness that is happening right here in downtown St. Louis and what can be done about that. We discussed that earlier in the show. When we come back, we're going to talk to St. Louis Police Captain Chris Stamper. He joins the show next. We'll get into that and some other things on KMOX.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here for the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Currently, it is 80 degrees, partly sunny today and warm. The high reaching 89 this afternoon. Tonight, clear with a low of 59.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has brought cheers to their fans for decades with the best styles, cutting-edge tech, and good old family values. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt, but you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market for a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Well, not with Truehold. With Truehold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. And listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. So that's Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You cash out your entire home's value and stay put. Truehold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. So imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt and stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. You get an all-cash offer now by calling 1-855-300-9993. You can also visit Truehold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
Today,
The Cards, the Mariners.
Cameron Total Access 745.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chris and Amy on 104.1 FM KMOX. Gas House Gang at 12 o'clock talking a little bit of sports with you, Tom Ackerman and Chris Ranji. That's me on that. We go to the guest line this morning. Earlier today, we were talking about these parks that are around the Soldiers Memorial downtown here in St. Louis. And there's a bit of a drug problem that has been ongoing for a while, and the city is hoping to address it. To talk about that and some other issues here in the city, we have with us the District 4 police captain for the St. Louis Police Department, Chris Stamper. And District 4, by the way, is that area north of Choteau, east of Vandeventer, so you kind of have an idea of where his district is. And we have Captain Stamper with us. Appreciate your time today. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you. Doing well, thanks.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you here on the show. And I know that this is a thing that's gotten a lot of attention, especially lately. How do you feel your resources are, or your ability, how good it is to do what you need to do to help make that park a little bit less, I don't know. I don't know the right word
Druggy?
to use for it. Yeah, a little less druggy, I suppose.
Yeah, well, your kind of lead-in was accurate. It's a problem that's been going on for some time. It isn't just a issue that happened recently with this particular park. It's been kind of an ongoing thing and happening throughout several of the parks that are around that area, really from Tucker all the way up to about 16th Street in various locations that we've seen. The one that is at 14th and Pine is kind of the latest one. And that has developed over the past couple of months or so, due in large part to some of our enforcement activities in those other locations, which kind of disperses that group throughout other areas. And 14th and Pine is the newest one. So, it's kind of to answer your question, it's a very complicated issue, and it's something that's difficult to try to unpack in a even 10-minute discussion, needless to say. But here recently, we have focused efforts. They were formerly in this park known as Schiller Park prior to this current location, and would often be around that statue there, where many of the folks who live and work downtown would see that going on across from the Steeple Theater. And we really stepped up efforts over there, which kind of pushed some of that activity now over to the 14th and Pine area. And it's not just a homeless issue. It's not just a drug issue. There are people that, for whatever reason, feel comfortable kind of coming over there, and it has become a market for certain types of activity, including some substances that we have come across more often over there, known as K2, which is a synthetic marijuana, and that's an area that's known for that type of thing. So we have made numerous arrests really, over the course of the years, but really in the past several months, since about April, I think we've had about 30 different arrests ranging in charges from city level through state charges all the way to the federal level for guns and weapons and drug charges as well. And so that's been kind of a police department effort. Obviously, our main role is protection and enforcement of the community in the community. But we also work closely with the city and, the different entities within the city that provide health and human services. So we work with them to get some of these folks the services they need, whether it be shelter, homeless outreach, and drug treatment. And we're really trying to coordinate that now with the mayor's staff. Obviously, we have a new administration, so there's some changes within her staff, and we're familiarizing them and familiarizing ourselves with them. And also, we have to give the mayor a little bit of grace since we, shortly after her term started, she had a tornado that, she was dealing with the response and recovery to. And so here within the past week or so, and couple of weeks, we've really been in contact with her staff and trying to address some of these issues because it has become a hot button topic with many of the businesses and the residents of the downtown area.
Yeah, and there's so many angles to this, so I guess I'll just kind of jump in with just, logistic or legal questions that a layman might have. So you mentioned the 30 arrests. My first thought is, okay, we know there's dealers showing up. They drive up, they're there for 10 minutes or so, then they leave. Can the police and have the police targeted those dealers and arrested them, and do they stay in jail?
Sure. Yeah. I would give, and this is just my speculation as far as estimates are concerned, but since we've stepped up enforcement activities in these areas, I would say, 75% or so, give or take 10 or 15% are the dealer group. Where our focus isn't really on trying to lock up the individuals who are suffering from whether it's addiction or homelessness necessarily. And really, they're not the bigger problem. It's these folks that are coming in here from not just the surrounding city area, but from the county as well, and using this population as their customer base. And so, we have made arrests. We have, watched, from various tactics and techniques, some of these things happen, and we're able to conduct, stops and investigations, and led to charges. Like I said before, mostly those charges are on the state level, but a good portion of them have also been on the federal level due to individuals having firearms and being convicted felons and things of that nature. So the circuit attorney has been, great as far as this issue is concerned, and it's really not even so much this issue. They have been doing a good job working with us, and issuing cases overall throughout the city, and they are sensitive to this issue. I've talked to the chief warrant officer, Mary Pat Carl, on a couple of occasions about, special attention or focus being made in this area from our perspective. And they're aware of that as well as the U.S. Attorney's Office is. And so when they see these charges coming from this area, they take a little extra look at things and understand the importance of really trying to get a handle on the situation. So I would say the cooperation's been great so far.
And you said that usually, or that the users haven't necessarily been your focus, but if it is illegal, if these people, and I know it's heartbreaking that they have addictions, but if they are using illegal drugs, why wouldn't you arrest them as well?
Well, I wouldn't say that we wouldn't arrest them per se, but, a lot of times these folks are also the subject of some other enforcement activities that we have going on there, which oftentimes surround quality of life issues. So, there's issues with them throwing, trash on the ground. Certainly if we stopped an individual for any kind of reason whatsoever, like for instance, if they were, urinating in public or something, and we find narcotics on them, we charge them for those crimes. But we also realize that, getting rid of some of this other group that has really kind of embedded themselves into this community with the drug sales is also our main focus. And then we start working below that level when we are offering other folks to come in. kind of like with the Health and Human Services angle, we would like for those individuals not only to get the help that they need, but also to get directed directly to those resources. We can't arrest our way out of this problem when it comes to the folks that are over there that are addicted or homeless or both, because we just don't really have the ability to give them a summons or whatnot and hold them for any length of time. And then the services come in from that angle. So we invite the city and the other groups that can work with these individuals to come over there on a couple different occasions. And if they would like us to accompany them, and they offer services. I can't speak to all of the times that the city's Health and Human Services folks have gone over there, but I do know it's a lot, and offered services to these individuals. Some of them have taken it, some of them don't, but we're still working on it nonetheless.
Is there a way to, because you can't force them to get treatment? I don't know what happens if they are in jail, if they are in prison, if they're incarcerated somehow. There are those sorts of drug programs, but how good are they? How good are those treatment programs? Because we know if they don't get the treatment, the likelihood they go right back to that life once they leave is very high.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. And I don't have there's plenty of studies out there on recidivism and when people fall back into that, it takes several times sometimes for folks to get out of that, especially if they're facing other challenges like mental health and homelessness. And I think that's a big factor involving this, which is why it's more complicated than some of the other issues that we sometimes see when there might be a drug house on a block, or there's a particular park or something that is just facing, maybe a dealer or two that are using that area at any given time, and we can kind of get that person out of there. This has been something that's been going on and unfortunately targeted, or at least made it easier for these dealers to victimize, if you will, or to use them as their customer base and their vulnerable population. And so there's lots of factors involved in that. But I think that saying that it's difficult doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep trying to do that. And again, from a police department standpoint, we realize that, I don't think society or the public wants us to arrest ourselves out of this problem. And frankly, we probably don't have the ability to house them if we did, and we don't want to hold people for a month on a city charge. I don't think that's necessarily what we're looking to do either. So we really have to have partnership from our other agencies and entities within the city. And we're working on establishing that even more with Mayor Spencer's current administration, so that we can really have one singular focus. And not only that, but we have the cooperation of many of the other parts of downtown with our downtown community improvement district, Greater St. Louis Inc. A lot of these folks are all pushing in one direction to try to help solve this problem, so that we understand it's not just a police problem, that there's other folks who need to get involved as well. And they are involved in helping us to get a handle on this.
And I apologize, because I know there's a lot of layers to this, but to sum it up, like if I'm coming downtown for the Cardinals game or the Blues game, or just to work in the morning, and I see all these guys in the park, and I see the dealers, I see people bent over from fentanyl and what have you. The police are actively arresting the dealers when they see them. That's something they take action on right away. As far as the users, you're not arresting the users, even though they are breaking that law, because you don't really have the ability to hold them, or if you hold them for a month, you don't want to hold them on a month on a city drug charge. I just kind of want to clarify again, if people are saying, I don't get it, why aren't they being arrested for breaking the law? You're saying you'd have to let them go most likely within a day or two. But if not, then you would have how many people being held for a month for drug use? Can you kind of break that down a little bit?
Well, remember, we don't, just because, there's a lot of things that are happening, surrounding any type of activity like this. So if someone's laying on the sidewalk, that's generally considered an EMS response. And I know EMS has responded to that location and surrounding areas numerous times for people who they believe, or someone walking by believes, to have overdosed or having some sort of medical event or emergency. And so that's not illegal necessarily. Mm-hmm. And so being homeless is not illegal. If we encounter someone that maybe doing something, like I said, who throws, litters or who's urinating in public, or a park violation, for instance, is one of the things that we summons individuals for all the time. The parks close at 10 p.m. And so if you're hanging out in the park or in the park at that time, then you're susceptible to being stopped and written a summons and or booked if the officer decides that's what needs to happen. And during the course of that encounter, if we discover that the individual has drugs on them, then we certainly would charge them. And that would be a state charge and then presented to the state attorney's office for prosecution. And so those are the things that happen. I don't want to convey to you that we don't arrest or charge any of the population that are users or homeless over there. We certainly have. But when you asked earlier what the percentage is, I would say the large part of our efforts have been on the dealer part of the situation, just because that is where we need to start with this. And some of these other resources that the city can offer and some of the other resources can offer come in behind us and really start working on the population from the standpoint of outreach and wrapping around the services with treatment and homelessness and shelter and things of that nature. And so it's really got to be kind of coinciding together and communicating together and working with them to help solve that problem and really get people from just wanting to hang out over there. But we do charge plenty of the population with different charges. It's just difficult. We don't have a lot of room in the Justice Center, and the city counselor's office can speak more, to what we do with charges. We apply on them just as we do at the state level. And so if we apply on someone urinating in public, they're not going to be held for a week unless they have like 25 or 30 bench warrants. And even then it's difficult to do that. So there's a lot of factors at play that create that environment where we used to maybe have other things that were available, like the workhouse and things of that nature, where people will be held for a little bit longer. I can't speak to that being a big part of the issue, but I think that it means that we often see people get summonses and then they come out, an hour or two later. And that's just part of the system that we have right now.
We have about 30 seconds here, and I wanted to get to this, but we're running out of time. I know Chief Tracy addressed the potential of National Guard coming to St. Louis. They're going to Chicago and Baltimore and New Orleans, all these other cities. And he said that there's not really been any contact. Do you feel like there is a need for that? Would it help if the National Guard were in St. Louis, which historically has been a higher crime city?
Yeah, I haven't been, as far as the chief is concerned, he certainly is having discussions on higher levels when it comes to any national contact or state level contact with National Guard type posts or anything like that. And I'm not overly familiar with what kinds of things or what that looks like in other states that are cities that are having this happen. I will say that this isn't something that we can't get a handle on, given the circumstances and given the resources working together. I think that really what needs to happen is just that we continue to focus on this issue and everybody pulls in the same direction with the shared goal of getting people the help that need it and getting these other elements out of there, which I think has helped on many levels. Unintended consequences. A lot of these folks end up shifting to other areas of the city, and then we have problems in those areas. And so it's really about staying on top of it. And I'll let the chief handle those conversations when it comes to whether or not anybody should come into the city to help us out or not.
St. Louis Police Captain Chris Stamper with us on KMOX. We appreciate your time. Thank you for visiting with us.
Thanks, Chris and Amy. Appreciate it.
It's Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Frank, did you get the mail?
Coupon, Medicare, AARP. Oh, wait, this one says open immediately.
First one in the trash.
Every day we're bombarded with messages that we don't care about. Problem is, there might be an important message in there that affects you, like retirement. For example, on September 23rd and 25th, Steve All of the All Financial Group will be hosting a Taxes in Retirement seminar at Stone Summit. From the big beautiful bill to taxes on your Social Security, Steve will cover it. It's a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
What about this coupon for a new lawn service?
We live in a condo.
So?
On the 3rd floor, Mom always said I shouldn't have married you.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional or guidance before making any purchasing decision.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra, is back. Next stop, Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill in Arnold, Thursday, September 18th. A limited number of fans can get an autographed picture from City SC player Timo Bungardel. Win great prizes, enjoy great food and a cold drink. Hot Shots in Arnold is the place to be Thursday, September 18th from 6 till 8 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
If you or a loved one wants a trusted partner to help you age with purpose and independence at home, the EverTrue Anywhere Care team offers world-class in-home services for older adults, including physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Formerly Lutheran Senior Services, the caregivers at EverTrue Anywhere Care assess your needs and customize a plan for you. Call 314-597-6498 or visit evertrueanywherecare.org. That's evertrueanywherecare.org.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Got our question of the week, Amy, that we need to get out there, and we want you to vote. You still have a couple of days to do it at Chris Amy KMOX on Twitter. That's where you go. You need to follow us, and if you don't, you know what'll happen.
Oh my gosh.
So sports betting is going to be legal here in Missouri December 1st. You know, we've been talking about FanDuel a lot, and all these other apps are going to be available for you in Missouri on December 1st. The question is, once sports betting is legal in Missouri, will you partake? And you need to go to our Twitter account in order to vote. We'll have the results coming up on Friday. Also, I think we already have our question of the week for next week based on our conversation today.
Oh, you know what? Next week's a great week. I'll be gone.
You'll be gone.
Yep. So you pervs can have this question.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's perverted at all.
Circle of life.
There's nothing perverted about that question. It's a part of life.
It is, I guess. Maybe it's just
What's the question?
Maybe
I'm
it's just
not
the way.
gonna tell you yet.
Maybe it's
Okay.
just the way you all talked about it.
You'll have to be back next week. You're gonna have to be
You gotta
back
listen
next week so that you can find
And
out
Ron
what the.
said if we grow our listenership by 200%, he'll bet $50,000 on the Bears to win the Super Bowl.
I gotta buy a car. I don't have time for that. I'm not trying to spend $50,000 for nothing. I'm gonna buy air with $50,000. They're not gonna win a Super Bowl in my lifetime. It's over.
Oh.
Cooked. Organization is cooked. All right, let's talk some baseball and stuff next. Tom Ackerman and Chris Ranji on the Gas House Gang coming up here. Amy Marks, Coors, and I will be back tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Anything you missed on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast, The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.